You recently gave a speech at the University of Iowa, and I'm told that 80% of the audience walked out. What could you possibly have said to them to make 80% of them walk out?
Well, it wasn't a speech. It was like some stand-up.
Yeah, well, what did you say to them?
I was just talking, like, I don't have my stand-up act. I just talk about whatever I'm thinking about lately.
So
but at the time, it was about having sex with animals. But it wasn't, like, weird. It was like, I'm not in favor. I'm not in favor of it. But I was just talking about it because I thought it was odd, like they have a word for it, bestiality. And nobody I know has ever done it. Nobody I know, you know what I mean? I've never known anybody that's ever known anybody that's ever had sex with animals. But a lot of people are having sex with animals on account of they got that word, bestiality. It's in the dictionary. It ain't easy to get a word in the dictionary.
So somebody's doing it.
Somebody's got to be going, hey, man, even if some animals, hey, you got to come up with a word, whatever. So I can't remember what joke, but it was some joke about, like, I said, I feel sorry for the animal because, you know, they get to have sex with a super hot lady, and then the next day they bring him back to another pig. You know, because the pig initially, he was having sex with another pig. He didn't know. He was, hey, this is a nice looking, it's a nice looking thing. But then they go, you know. And then I also said I feel sorry for, imagine if you watch one of those video, you know, of a guy, a pig having sex with a woman, and then you recognize that, hey, isn't that woman that wouldn't go out with me? Anyway, this is a harmless joke.
Now, you have children, right, by your previous marriage?
I have a boy. I have a little boy.
How old is he?
He's 8 years old.
Now, would you like him to go into stand-up?
Stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
It's
a good job, isn't it?
It's not. It's kind of tough on 8-year-olds.
Yeah, well, maybe when he got older.
Maybe when he gets older, you know.
Would you, if you went to see him talk and he told you that joke started telling you a joke about the pig, would you be offended or would you say, son, that's a great joke. I'm so proud I told you that joke.
I would laugh at that joke because it's not, as long as a joke doesn't promote a bad thing. You know, you can comment.
So this sort of
you can comment on a bad thing. You can do a joke about cigarettes. It doesn't mean you want people to smoke. You're
actually discouraging women from having sex with pigs, right?
Exactly. I am against it. I am solidly against it.
Well, on that note, thank you, Norm Macdonald, for being...
I like some pornography, you know. Sometimes I just get so repelled by it, you know. Oh, you ever have those friends of yours go, hey, man, I got a video of a guy fucking a pig. You're like, I don't care. Yeah, it's on my computer. I'm a computer expert. Yeah, I'm right into the computer. I got snakes coming out of ladies' asses. I can show it to you. Come on in mine. I'm like, yeah, that's all right. I don't want to see it. Some guy fucking a pig, man. I didn't even think that was real. You know, that's bestiality, right? That's what they call it. Bestiality. That's a real thing, man. I never heard of a dude doing that. Like, nobody. I know a lot of people, man. None of them, to my knowledge, have ever fucked an animal. You know what I mean? I never even heard a guy knew a guy. You know what I mean? But I know that people fuck animals on account of they got that word, bestiality. You know what I mean? That's not easy, getting a fucking word. You know what I mean? It's hard getting a word going. They had to have calls at the goddamn dictionary office going, hey man, what the fuck am I supposed to say when I fuck my animal? I got no word for that. You guys got to put a word there in the dictionary. I got some lobby going there because people are fucking animals. I don't understand. I feel sorry for the animal because that's not consenting. And, you know, also, man, can you imagine if you're a pig, you know, and you're having sex with a beautiful lady, right? And then afterwards, you got to go home and fuck a pig, right? Before you didn't know, you were like, hey, this pig's all right? You don't know it's a dirty pig. And then you're having sex with a beautiful lady, and then they're like, yeah, go fuck pigs again. You're like, you dirty bastard. You burned me. you're watching, get this, man, what if you're watching one of those movies, right? And you're saying, hey, man, there's a pig fucking a lady. And then you're like, hey, wait a second. That's that lady that wouldn't dance with me last Friday. She's fucking a pig, man. She wouldn't dance with me. It's terrible. Just dirty for no reason. But that computer stuff, that is just all filth, you know? I don't see anything. Everybody says, oh, man, everything's going to be different. Everything. If you get a computer, then I get a computer, I go, well, what the fuck do I do with it? They go, hey, you can email people. It's amazing. You write in there, and then it goes into people, and I'm like, well, what about a fucking phone, man? That seems more amazing to me. I hear a dude's voice in China. Right? They invented that like a couple hundred years ago. It could have been 2 million. But you know, no matter what your sexual proclivity, is that a word, proclivity? I know it's a word, but I don't know what it means. I only know 9-10 words, but I bank on other people not knowing them too. But whatever your sexual, as long as you don't, have sex with animals. I think that's terror. I think it's the wrong thing because they're not. Maybe they're consenting, but we don't know. The animals could be going, hey, I don't know why people are stopping this. I said yes. No means no. I said fucking oink. That's what I say when I want to get fucked. Oink. But there's no way of telling if they're consenting. I'm like that Harvard professor, Art Miller, talking about law. But anyway, the point is this. The whole point is this. I don't know what that means. I just get one of those flashbacks.
I don't think be intimidated sexually. Unless it's by some sort of strata of being you don't typically want to have sex with, like a cow or a camel or, in my case, a man.
Yes.
That would be intimidating for me. I don't know how all of the orifices work.
Yeah. I think that's exactly the same.
With a camel.
Yeah. Well, I'm an old chunk of coal. I'm near 50. Uh-huh. I'm on the same Viagra doses that they give to the donkey at the second show in Tijuana. I'm taking so many Viagra now. I'll tell you this.
What's that, Norm?
My doctor told me I'm on the same dose that they give to the donkey for the second show in Tijuana.
Okay, now listen.
For the second show,
Why do I continue to have you on? And yet I love it.
No, the second show.
Why are they prescribing it in such a responsible way? It's that terrible, detrimental act of bestiality. Don't give that donkey too much Viagra. We're not monsters. Right, now go and fuck that human being for the entertainment of the children of God.
It's been a while, and I still like the way you look at me.
What do you think is wronger?
Wrong in...
More wrong. What do you think is more wrong? Having sex with a child, human being, or an adult pig?
Like, you've got to do one. That's the
You got to do one,
options.
yeah. You're on a deserted
It's
island.
not me, it's some hypothetical
You're
person.
on a deserted
I, Russell
island
Brand,
with a single
elevated.
tree.
It's
You're
not
on a-
me, it's this person called Doug.
Yeah.
I won't have sex with a child because I think the pig may not be as bothered as a child. I think it could have huge psychological impact on the child. So out of compassion, I would advise Doug to do it with the pig and to leave the child alone because of the potential psychological impact. Even though the child's on a bloody island anyway, that's going to mess him up, all that Robinson Crusoe crap. Out on the farm, watching animals doing it in rural Canada. A moose being ransacked against some timber.
Sow. Sow.
They listen.
We were pig farmers.
They're not gracious creatures when it comes to conjugal matters. I've recently had an
Worst
interaction.
oral sex you could imagine.
Horrible gums,
Yes.
sort of yellowing molars. I would never engage in sex with anything porcine.
Well, if you're not homophobic, why not whack off your friend that's a gay guy? Like, what's stopping you? Or blowing him?
Well,
or letting him fuck you in the ass? What's stopping you? You're not getting anything out of it, but he's having a hell of a time.
Come on, it would be like that. It is kind of gross, you know, if you're not into it, because it's like why not jerk your dog off? You know, your dog probably likes it, but that's because it's gross. Yeah, he's a weird one, man.
How many people, though, seriously?
Wait,
no, I agree with you, it's gross, but do you think that happens a lot? Like lonely people and their dogs?
Jerking off their dogs?
Oh, yeah. Every time I see a
dogs?
woman walking down the street with a real big dog, I'm like, oh, they're going out.
Women?
No, they get their dogs to either go down on them. You know, Judd Apatow recently, and I'm apologizing to him.
Oh, but his dog is
No.
sexy.
Like my dad died, and my grandfather died, and my great-grandfather died, and the guy before him, I don't know, probably died. I come from a long line of death. That's my point.
Like I've noticed on your special, you do have a lot of bits that are very funny, but like very dark as far as the death and growing old and disease and things like that. One of the funniest goddamn things you were saying was, your odds of getting attacked by a terrorist are 1,000,001, but your heart attacking you. It's just somebody, your heart attacks you. The heart's not.
What are the odds of your heart attacking you?
Your
That was
heart
great.
attacking you.
I thought that was offensive.
It was very
well,
offensive.
the people who've had heart attacks, Carl, it's a good
very
point.
offensive.
Funny to us.
It's too soon.
But like,
You think about it, what's the odds that a terrorist will attack and kill you? Almost zero, But what are the odds that you will be attacked and killed by your own heart?
where is that? Like, where are you as far as that goes? Are you authentically petrified of the end or of falling apart? Which
I shouldn't think about it as much as I do.
You do? Do you lay there?
I go fucking. I get a lot of tests done.
Do you? Yeah,
like
make sure everything's cool. Your cholesterol.
This happened to me one time. Because, people say, oh, you're a hypochondriac and shit, but I'm like, no, fuck, that's not it. It's like the only chance you got is early detection. That's all you got. And so I used to go to the Mayo Clinic, in Rochester, Minnesota, every year, and I would have, this is what I would do. Because I don't, this is what doctors do. They'll just fucking, you go, hey, I got a cough. That's probably a cold.
Right.
You know what I mean? They just brush everything off, especially if they know
That's
you're a
what they told
hypochondriac.
Jim Henson.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So what I would do is I'd go to this is what happened to me. I went to Rochester Mayo Clinic, and I would exaggerate all my symptoms. So I go to the stomach guy. He goes, "What do you got?" I go, "I fucking shitting blood. I'm coughing up blood." He goes, "Holy fuck!" So he'd give me a full thing. I wanted to make sure I got a full thing. So every fucking guy, blood was coming out of my nose and ears and my asshole and everything. So anyways. Just so I get a full, clean bill of health. So I did, and then that's when I'm most happy, is just when I'm walking out of that place.
Now, how long does that last?
Doesn't last long, because obviously 2 days later, the fucking thing can start. But then, a fucking 6 months later, I decided, I never had insurance before, so I decided to get life insurance. Couldn't get it, right? And so I fucking said, why the fuck can't I get, nobody will accept me for life insurance. Anyway, it turns out that the life insurance people are privy to all the doctor's notes.
Oh, so you were
they
saying...
got the doctor's notes. Even though I had a clean bill of health, they go, this guy's shitting blood. Fucking blood everywhere,
I can insure this motherfucker.
Yeah. So they said he must have some unknown disease.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
So it took me a long time, and then finally I had to get that fucking Ed McMahon life insurance. Those guys are like, hey, man, will nobody fucking give you life insurance on account of you're fucking old and sick and going to die
die? Here, we'll give it to you, $1 a month.
If you're 65 or older, you could get term life insurance.
Yeah.
And then it says doesn't kick in for 3 years, premiums, you know. And
plus, imagine if you're the fucking guy that's asked to do that commercial.
And it's like, and no medical tests. We won't ask any medical questions.
Imagine you're an actor, like you're fucking like Robert Wagner, and you know that's you know, like, hey man, do you think about death every fucking day, like me? Did you never fucking think of taking care of your family at any point?
Until right now when you're on your deathbed?
Until now?
Holy shit, man. Yeah, I did notice during the special there were a lot of those things, but you make them fun. It's very rare that you could use the word cancer in a bit and actually make it funny.
I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure if the cancer dies, I mean, if you die, the cancer also dies at exactly the same time. So that, to me, is not a loss, that's a draw. That's a, you know what I mean?
It was just, yeah. No, I'm not like, that's not what I talk about in stand-up. That was just a certain period of time.
No, that's what I mean. You know, it's
thinking about shit like that.
Do you? I noticed because I'm very bad with me being alone with my own thoughts at night. A lot of times, if I'm just in a quiet room without the TV on, like I'll just think too much to go to sleep.
Yes.
And it could be anything. It could be like, oh, there's a kind of a program I want to maybe work on tomorrow on the computer. Or it could be, hey, I wonder when I'll die. You know, and that. So I like having the TV on just for that. Are you good with your own thoughts, just laying there in the quiet?
I'm no good.
No?
I try to, because you know, you try something to get off the whatever the fuck you'd use to quiet your mind. You know, whether it's booze or whatever the fuck pills, whatever it is. But I try meditation, try that, you know. To me, it worked the opposite. Like I'm sitting in a room of people, they go, just close your eyes. They go, thoughts will happen. No fucking kidding. Racing hellish thoughts, you know. And then the guy's like, just let them go. I'm like, ah. And then you open your eyes, you look at some other fuckers right beside you. And I tried it 3 times. I could never get to any place of quiet.
No, I need a lot of distractions, and I could still operate and work. Like I could make myself, you know, go to sleep, or if I'm working on a computer or something. I'm good with the TV on or something like that. But I need this constant little distraction because if you're just left alone to your own devices, your thoughts will turn horrid.
I stumped a fucking psychiatrist once. I said to the guy, because I was fucking gambling all the time, shit, right? I had a gambling addiction. I'm over it now, but shit. But he said...
I bet you're not.
That's a good one. He almost lost everything.
Oh, shit.
You haven't met Chip.
Yes, Chipperson is very funny.
But he said, the psychiatrist, he said, you're using gambling, you're fixating on gambling in order to escape your real thoughts. You know? And I said to him, isn't that why you do everything in life? And literally, I stumped him.
He had no answer.
He was like, ah. And then he recovered and tried to make it. But isn't that why you do everything?
Yes.
So you're not sitting at home
just thinking
about what's really going to happen to us?
where it all ends?
Norm, are you in therapy at all?
No.
Really?
Psychotherapy?
Yeah. Have you ever sat with a therapist and?
No, I don't believe in psychotherapy.
You don't?
No.
Really? Why is that?
Because I've read psychotherapists.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with their...
do you do your own psychoanalysis?
I have my own beliefs.
Right. But do you spend a lot of time in sort of self-reflection and...
Yes.
Do
I ruminate.
Do you?
Yeah, I have a theory that that people are in deep denial of death.
Right.
And I'm not.
You know you don't want to.
No, I think most people don't think they're going to die.
Well, you know it's funny that you say that because just even in the last week I'm like, nobody really thinks they're going to die.
Yeah.
Like you just can't get your head around it because you're so busy living.
Right.
Like,
it's almost impossible to comprehend.
Right.
And everything you see is living. Even if someone else dies, it's always a shock because they've always been alive. Yeah. So it's very hard. It is a hard thing to wrap your mind around. I'll be doing a lot of this at Cobb's Comedy Club.
You say I don't listen. I tell you I try. And we both got our own problems, but I still try to make you tired.
Haunts me.
Because the thought of not existing, you know, it's like, you know what the new thing they call it is? Dirt nap.
Good God, Larry.
That's what they call it, a dirt nap.
You would not say that on Hulu?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I'd say it here.
When I die, I want my body donated to science. But more specifically, a scientist who is working on bringing dead guys back to life.
Oh, that's just, is that funny at all? That's just a statement.
Can I calm your fears about death?
Yeah, please.
Be
serious. Are you being serious?
I'm being completely serious. Because I used to be, as he knows, obsessed with it.
Oh, yeah.
And I would ruminate it all night on it. And then I came to a realization that you and death will never intersect. As long as you're here, death is not. As long as death is there, you are not.
Yeah, but since you know it's coming.
Don't you want to live forever?
You bet.
Don't you want to cross that river?
Yeah, I want to.
Don't you want to kiss tomorrow now?
Do you believe you go somewhere?
Sure.
Where do you go?
Well, first they put you in a big black car. And by golly, everybody's dressed in their best Sunday go-to-meeting clothes. It's good to be alive, you know what I mean, isn't it? That's what I say. That's what I like. Are those your jokes that you wrote today?
Yep.
Okay.
Been cracking them out.
Okay. I am going to prove something right now. Read the jokes to me.
I'm on a seafood diet. I see food, and if it's a fish, I eat it.
Meta.
Yeah. So.
I hate meta. Some people keep trying to get me to do meta comedy, so there you go.
I heard a joke.
Yeah, there you go, Norm. You got it.
That was attacked by the night monkey.
All right, hold on a second. Go ahead, Norm.
No, I'm terrible at telling jokes, but a guy, he gets a genie or something that gives you wishes in a lamp, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so he's like, oh, no, that's not it. He goes to his whole head is a giant pumpkin. That's how the joke starts. Mm-hmm. It's like a giant pumpkin, and then his friend goes, what happened? He's like, I found this genie in a lamp, and he gave me 3 wishes. And he's like, what happened? He goes, well, the first wish I wished for like $100 million, and I got it. And then for my second wish, I wished for like a beautiful lady, and I got her. And the guy's like, yeah, but what happened? He's like, the third wish, that's where I really blew it. And the guy goes, what happened? He goes, I wished for a giant pumpkin head.
You guys got it. Really, put a CD out together.
You know what I really hate? You know what I really hate? If you go anywhere with him, like for a couple of days, he does that on purpose. He'll tell jokes with no ending on purpose.
I don't think you need one. Sometimes you can tell a joke like that.
And then that happens.
You don't need to have a joke.
You want to read a joke?
Sure.
You read them so good, but do you like his meta jokes?
He's a deep guy, you know. He's a young guy that's still finding themselves, so he's meta.
How many Polish guys does it take to screw in a light bulb? The question cannot be answered because Polish people are so fucking stupid that no matter how many of them are available, none of them would ever be able to complete that simple task.
This is a meta joke. Are you aware of these meta jokes?
How many comedians does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
2. One to do it, and the other guy to go, how long has he been up there?
I like that.
On stage.
Yeah, because they was going,
how long?
This is the post-punk comedy. Now, this might be too...
He's not one of those sabotaging guys that's afraid of success.
No. No, this is a new type of comedy that may be a little advanced for the likes of you and me. To tell you the truth.
Try to take
I think that's what it is.
He had to do what's called anti-comedy?
Anti-comedy or meta-comedy.
Yeah.
Anti meaning the opposite.
Before we begin, I have a quick public service announcement. Would anybody, please fuck Martha Stewart?
Oh, I got that one.
What?
I don't understand that.
What?
That's weird, right?
Too soon.
It's meta.
Meta.
Do you like the meta comedy?
Meta world peace comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy I like.
Your mom is so fat she developed type 2 diabetes and congestive heart failure. Snap! I don't get that. That so fat she just
Well, it's kind of an anti-joke.
It's a literal, yeah.
Oh, okay. You know these new meta jokes?
Yeah, I don't know that.
Well, she's so fat, you expect a joke, but then she's just so fat.
I get it.
If thinking that women are not funny, emotionally irrational, and less intelligent than men makes me sexist, then yes, I am sexist. Another meta joke.
Is it?
Sort of.
Boy, was it hot outside today. I went out to buy a California Pizza Kitchen signature pepperoni frozen flatbread, and by the time I got home, it was perfectly cooked and entirely eaten. 100% true.
Oh, you ate it. See, I love the laughs. I love the laughs. It's just kind of weird, right? Some of them are odd. I'm not going to lie to you.
This is a joke.
Well, some of them.
But this is a joke.
I think technically.
Like an observational joke?
I was thinking that the new comedians, like Jim Gaffigan, what is it called when you say a joke and then refer to it?
Oh,
Some sort of
I don't know
meta.
what it's called, but yeah, everybody's just.
What are they doing?
That.
Kind of explain what they do.
Well, what they do is they're basically saying what Jim does is he's telling you what the audience's reaction
So give
to
an
that
example.
joke is. So it's like you know.
The joke, it's not the joke part isn't important. You can talk about the Care Bears, but you just say the.
Okay, so he's like, you know, I like Samuel. Something the punchline Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, I don't care for him. He's not a good actor. Something like that.
Sometimes beauty's distracting, too. Like Halle Berry, she is so beautiful. But whenever she's in a movie, I find it hard to follow the plot. Like when she was in Monsters Ball playing that poverty-stricken woman, the entire time I was watching the movie, I was like, well, why doesn't she just become a model?
But isn't that he said he was commenting on his own act, not on Samuel L.
That's
Jackson?
what he's. Oh yeah, but he's talking about why does this? All right, so he'll be talking about like cheeseburgers. I love about mini muffins is you can eat fucking 12 of them. Oh, he just keeps talking about food. Why is he talking about food so much? Yes. He does that.
And now this has become a kind of a standard since.
Since he did it, it's like everybody.
Try and be a good dad. I sat the older three down and I explained to them that the new baby does not mean I love them any less. But I will have to let one of them go. So if anyone knows of a toddler rescue, maybe we could get Sarah McLachlan to do the commercial. I don't like that joke at all. Why would he put that joke in this special? 4 kids. Bedtime is a crisis. That's why I'm here right now.
I saw Gilbert do that 20 years ago, where he was his own father watching his act.
Yeah.
How did that put on a pair of glasses.
What kind of a joke was that? He didn't answer it. I don't understand that he does the fingers fighting with each other, and that's a joke.
I've been doing that for years, way before they had a name for it.
I had no idea.
He would say a joke, and then he'd put on his glass, he'd be his father, and not care for the joke. Right?
That's brilliant.
What do you have to say now?
I mean, I'm not a good,
anything.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, it's like...
Gilbert is not looking at your slow burn that you've been trying to perfect.
It's not, I mean...
When I was young, there was a fella went by the name of Jacques de Gautier. And he was from Témiscamingue, Quebec. And Jacques de Gautier, he was a fella that really thought. And he was smart, he was our hope, I guess. And he was, while I was scrabbling to get out of high school, Jacques Zagatineau had already...
I think he just changed his last name.
Well, a man grows.
I really like, because on one of the episodes,
was really funny. We're loving it. And he finishes the story, and it ends with this terrible pun, the porpoise pun. Remember that?
But this is the point.
Yeah.
Jacques de Gatineau, he went to McGill University and he got 3 degrees, by golly. And he went over across the pond to the fellers with Cambridge, and he even stood up to them. And we thought, boy, he's going to be the next. We had Jean Marchand, Gérald Tertier, Pierre Trudeau, the 3 wise men of Quebec. By God, Jacques de Gatineau was going to be the next.
Give me the next gun.
Yeah, but he vanished. And I met him, I started to do stand-up and travel from here to there and to here again. And one time I was in Niagara Falls, and gosh, I went over to the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World? You know, with the different fish. You know.
I didn't know that, but okay. Yeah. Yes.
Beluga.
The SeaWorld. I've been there many a time.
Okay, so I was checking out the beluga whales and stuff, and I look over, and who do you think I see?
I hope it's that guy.
No, it was just an attendant, but he showed me to the place I wanted to see, which is where they feed the little baby dolphins, because I love dolphins, you know. And who do I see there but Jacques de Gatineau? And here he is, he's feeding the baby dolphins. And I go up to him and I go, Jacques de Gatineau, I feel shame for you. You were our hope. You were to go to Canada, Canada's nation's capital of Ottawa. And you were to be a great man, Jacques de Gatineau. And we were all, we pinned all of Témiscamingue, Quebec, pinned our hopes on you. Now, that's a hell of a burden for a man to have a town's hope pinned on them, isn't it, Conan?
It is a big burden.
So he was feeding these baby dolphins, and I said, I'm ashamed of you, Jacques de Gatineau. You could have done so many great things. And he said, I think I'm serving a youthful porpoise. Now, I believe that...
Still, it's this long story that ends with a pun. Instead of I'm serving a useful purpose, he says I'm serving a youthful porpoise, and it's this long joke that gets to just that pun, and I'm loving it. We're both loving it, but also we can't believe this is where the story has gone.
Yeah.
is to this pun. So he springs the trap, and the crowd starts to applaud, and I start to tell the crowd, no. You can't applaud.
Yeah.
What he's just done right now is criminal.
He's taking time from all of us.
He is criminal. He can't be allowed to get away with this.
No!
I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen.
You don't encourage that.
It's like...
That was a 40-minute story.
It's like somebody...
Youthful porpoise?
Youthful porpoise.
Yes.
Not porpoise.
I don't know. Good God.
I know. That was way out of line.
No, that was way out of... Who are you to criticize Oscar Pistorius?
And then, Andy, you say, what you just did, Norm, is you stopped us on the street, took us for a 2-mile walk in the woods to show us a turd. and Norm is laughing so hard, I think he gets down on his knees and is like clapping.
Somebody saying, I got to show you something. They take on a 4-mile hike to show you a dog turd. Look at it. Okay.
And I realized that the ultimate joy of this man, to me, is he is a mischievous kid at heart. Mm-hmm. There's all this intellect, and there's all of this integrity, and there's all the things that we've talked about, word choice, and his way of being able to, and I do believe, like a modernist, painter, completely blow up the form and take it inside out. Yep. I think all those things are true, but at the core, there is a mischievous child who knows that he's going to sit in the update desk at SNL and he's going to stare right in the camera and tell a joke that he knows for a fact is going to get nothing and will enrage the president of NBC and cost him his job. And he is like a kid in a candy store. And to me, that's, I mean, God bless.
It's a lot of fun to watch.
Well, there's your reel for CBS. We're getting this,
Les Moonves.
We're getting this right to Les Moonves.
I gotta have him.
You want to see that every night, Les? This guy's got the goods.
More Quebecois humor.
I love you. I really do.
Here's the problem with taking pictures. Photographers are largely flamboyantly gay.
Right.
And so then when they take, a good look for them is a flamboyantly gay look.
Right.
So when they take their picture, your picture, you know, they want you to look flamboyantly gay, and then you're like, can I look a little less flamboyantly gay? And they're like, no, this is good. I'm like, I'm wearing a dress.
Well, again, it's tonight and tomorrow night. The Comedy Works in Larimer Square. Thanks so much for toughing it out without coffee. It's great to meet
fun.
you.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
Norm. All right, on over.
Excellent suit.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
I
just
like that one.
brand new. Oh my. Let's get back over to Angie and Chris, please.
Wait a minute. Norm, what is wrong, Norm, with flamboyantly gay?
Yeah.
I ask you.
I ask you, Norm.
Hit a little close to home this morning, didn't it?
Did you see this outfit? Did you see this thing?
This is what you should have worn for the headshot, Norm. Come on. Panache.
It is cool.
Huh? Come on.
You wore that between what he's wearing now and ending up in the dress. That was halfway.
It is cool.
Norm could have worn this.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Hey, Johnny Weir called. He wants his outfit back.
Oh, hey now. He's talking to you, too, not me.
I don't know who he's talking
I don't know.
to.
Maybe he's talking to me. Because Johnny Weir would look fabulous in this.
Look good in either one of these outfits.
Yes,
Did you meet him backstage?
No, I haven't. I met Randy Travis, and I'm a huge country music fan, and George Jones is my favorite, so this is a big night for me.
Do you like the new country or you like the old
No, the new is gay. Well, I'm not gay, so I don't know much about Broadway musicals. And I've been told I can't ask you a question, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
It's more than we really wanted to know.
And you know, you kind of surprised me because you did MTV Beach House recently, and you know, there's a certain kind of person you expect to show up on the MTV Beach House, and I hear, we'll be right back with MTV Beach House, our special guest Norm Macdonald. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
It's this.
What was that?
It's this show on MTV, right?
I know.
And it's at a beach.
It's at a beach.
And they don't script anything. Like, you know, they do like for anyway. So the dude, the host, was like, "Hey Norm, do you mind wearing a pair of trunks? You know, bathing trunks?" And I go, "No, I don't want to wear that. You know, because I'm like my body's like all weird looking and everything." And everybody else is super hot ladies and super hot men. You know, I don't, you know, whatever.
Whatever you. Wow.
So,
got an issue about that. All right, go ahead.
So I'm on the show, right? So they're saying, "Hey, come on, seriously, put on the trunks." I'm like, "No, man, I don't want to." So then they think this will be funny. They go, "Hey, we're going to show you a fashion show. Some dudes will come out, you know, and show you. You see what you think." I go, "What?" So all of a sudden, these three dudes come out, right, dancing around in their thongs and shorts and everything.
They're wearing thongs or shorts? Which one?
Bathing trunks, but some of them are like thongs where you can see their dirty arses. So, so I'm like watching it, you know, and I'm like, oh,
like
man.
Chaucer. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm like, oh, I guess it is.
Okay, go
Old
ahead.
English. So I said, you know, oh, yeah, no, I'm pretending to go, oh, yeah, that's funny, right? And
you do a lot of that at MTV, yeah.
So then the guy, the host, he goes to this one guy who was very, very, very gay. He goes,
what? How do you know that?
No, I mean,
you had a sign?
Yeah, he looked very, very gay. He says to this dude, he says, "Hey, I'll give you $20 if you lap dance on Norm." You know what I mean?
Right.
All of a sudden, this dude like, "Hey, $20." I guess he didn't have much money. Starts running towards me, right? So I look up. Here's this nude, almost nude dude running towards me, right? So I think in my head, okay, man, pretty soon the guy's going to be writhing around on my lap with his ass, you know? And I don't want that on TV, you know, forever.
No, it's okay to talk about it, but you don't want to see it.
Right. They videotape that, and it's there forever. So, meanwhile, what can I do? You know, you can't hit a guy because it looks bad. You know what I mean? You know? Even though, of course, a woman could hit a naked guy running at him.
Sure, that's okay.
But a man can't hit him. Yeah. So I have to think fast. It's only a second. So I bolt. I take off, right?
You started running, too?
Yeah, running down the beach.
The guy catch you or no?
Yeah, and then I had to come back on. They're like, oh, Mr. Homophobic. I won't let a guy grind his ass into you.
Where do you live here, of course, in the city, because you're doing the show.
I live in New York City.
Yeah. This isn't a police interrogation. Are you sure? Where about? Where in the city do you live, approximately, not specifically?
I live at 56 between 8th and Broadway.
Okay, and what's your phone number? Just give me 7 digits. All right. What? Your neighbors nice people? The people that live around you?
Great people. Every day I meet somebody new. You know, this city's great because of the neighborly people. You know. I don't know. But I did meet one neighbor. Interesting story. You know, that this guy just moved in. You know, next door to me. So I'm always one to meet the neighbors.
You like to chat with the neighbors.
Yeah, because you know. So I went over to the guy, knocked on the door next door to where I live, and I say to the guy, I said, hey, I'm your new neighbor, you know, and I said, good to see you, you know, nice to run into you, you know, welcome to the neighborhood, you know. And so the guy, I said, what do you do for a living there, sir, you know, if you don't mind me asking? You know, what do you do for a living? I'm a nightclub comic, I tell the guy. So he says to me, he says, I work down at the University of Science there. He says,
that's a good school, by the way.
I can't remember the exact place.
Sure.
But he says, I'm a professor of logic.
Oh.
So he says to the guy, he says, logic. Now, what the hell is that? I never heard tell of that. He says, oh, well, he says it's a kind of a pattern of syllogistic. Well, he says it's hard to explain. He says, why don't I give you an example? So I said, fair enough. Why don't you do that? So the guy says, well, he says, let me ask you a question. He says, do you own a doghouse? So I go, yes, I do. He says, well, then that means you probably have a dog. I said, yes. He says, well, that means you have a family if you have a dog. I said, yes, I do. He said, well, then that means you got kids, you're married? I said, yes, I am. He says, well, then you're a heterosexual man. I said, yes, sir, I am. He says, well, you see, that's logic there. I asked if simply from finding out you had a doghouse, I made this series of inferences, and I found that you're a heterosexual man simply from the fact that you had a doghouse. Well, I said, good God, isn't that something?
Okay.
So I said, well, I won't waste any more of your time there, neighbor. And I said, I'll see you later.
See you around. Okay.
So I said, come by one day and have a chicken with me. So anyways, I left. So I go to get a bus, you know, to the bus stop. And I walk down to the bus stop, and I'm still thinking about this thing that happened to me, you know. And I'm standing at the bus, and no bus coming at all, you know, and 5 or 6 of us standing around, and one guy lights up a cigarette there, and he goes, as soon as you light up a cigarette, the bus comes. And he smokes the whole damn cigarette, no bus comes.
Right.
So I said to the guy, well, that theory really worked, huh? And the guy goes, well, sometimes it works. Anyways, the guy goes, what's new with you? I go, well, I had an interesting thing happen to me today. I said, I met my neighbor. And he goes, oh, yeah? I go, he had a hell of an interesting job. I said, he's a professor of logic down at the University of
Science.
And so the guy says, is that so? He says, professor of logic. He goes, what the hell is that, logic? I said, well, it's a series of something or other.
Right.
I said, I can't remember exactly, but I said, I'll give you an example if you want to hear an example. So the guy goes, all right, fair enough. So I said, let me ask you this. I said, let me ask you a question. Do you own a doghouse? And the guy goes, no, I don't own a doghouse. So the guy says, oh, yeah, you're one of them gays.
And it worked, right? What great stuff you can learn at that University of Science there.
Yeah. And then the guy, get this. Get this.
There's more.
This gay guy invites me to have a chicken at his place.
That's some kind of euphemism. Watch out.
Judge Lance Ito this week barred all potential jurors from reading Faye Resnick's controversial new book, Nicole Brown Simpson, Diary of a Life Interrupted. The judge also barred them from reading Faye Resnick's other new book entitled Judge Lance Ito is a Big Fruit. And now it's time for Weekend Update's movie reviews. This week I saw Interview with the Vampire. And here's my review. Not gay enough. This week, a court banned gays from marching in Boston's St. Patrick's Day parade, but they will still allow them to be beaten up by drunken Irish guys. I'm afraid to know what you're applauding at there. Okay. Meanwhile, Elton John continues to deny rumors that he is engaged to his tennis racket. Well, if I can be allowed a personal opinion, I think Harrison Ford's new mustache works. And by works, I mean looks really gay. In overseas news, an attempt to lift the ban on gays serving in the British Armed Forces has been defeated in Parliament. This raises a difficult legal question. How do you exactly tell if a British guy is gay? In an interview in this month's Vanity Fair, actor Tom Cruise attempts to end once and for all rumors that he is gay. Meanwhile, the U.S. Army is dealing with a scandal of its own as dozens of female recruits have charged drill instructors with sexual harassment, intimidation, and even sexual assault. Analysts are calling it the best argument yet for gays in the military. Jonathan Schmitz, the Jenny Jones guest who killed his secret gay admirer because of his fear and hatred of homosexuality, has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. Well, I guess that plan backfired, huh? And it's been reported that Keanu Reeves is engaged to actress Amanda Decadina. Asked to comment, Keanu said, "What? I thought I was gay. I'd always heard I was gay. Beginning in March, DC Comics will change Superman's traditional red and blue costume to a new form-fitting bodysuit. The problem with the old costume? Not gay enough. What the hell's going on in the country? That's not Superman. All right. TriStar's Pictures is planning a film about the 70s disco act, The Village People. While the movie will be coming out next summer, it plans to wait until Thanksgiving to come out to its parents. The artist formerly known as Prince says he now wants to be known as simply the artist. Meanwhile, I will continue to refer to him as simply the fruit. In other music news, several major acts are on tour this month, including the Counting Crows, Metallica, and The Fruit.
A study on weight loss revealed this week that women who participate in a weekly diet program lost 50% more weight, snacked less, and bought more fruits and vegetables than women in general. Which just goes to prove my new theory: Richard Simmons is gay. Our top story tonight. This week, after months of speculation, sitcom star Ellen DeGeneres finally admitted that yes, she is gay. Inspired by her courage, today, diet guru Richard Simmons admitted that he is really, 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 really gay.
I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go of everything and I'm scared of letting.
Well, according to a new Entertainment Weekly poll, 72% of their readers say they would not be offended if a TV show lead character were gay. Though that figure shrinks to 1% when these same readers are reminded that being gay can involve anal sex.
Adam Eager told me something I didn't know. He said you worked with Red Fox on a variety.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm dying to
I
hear it.
produced Red Fox Variety.
You told me he just worked on it.
Worked on it.
Well, that's, I mean, according to your
What do you
Wikipedia
think I was,
page.
a stagehand, you douchebag? Worked on it. Did you do your notes?
No,
I want
got
you
all my
back on
information
drugs.
from
I'm
Wikipedia.
serious. I
Yeah,
want you back on stuff so you
This
know.
close. I'm going to do a shot
I'm
next
sorry.
break. No, it's
I'm
true.
just teasing
No,
you.
no. I'm Adam Egat. I work at the world famous Comedy Store. I'm the manager over there. Before that, I was a manager at the Tempe Improv, and I don't know what I'm doing, I'll be honest, and I'm not an actor, I'm not a comedian, but I'm just going to try my best, and I'm going to do the best I can, and I hope the people watching at home will give me a chance to I don't know, just give me a chance.
So how do the other comics feel? Like you're at the Comedy Store, you're running the Comedy Store.
Exactly.
And they're all there working on their comedy, hoping to maybe someday break into television.
They're not happy.
Yeah. Like
a lot of them are in my ear. They're
Yeah.
like, you know what you should do? You should get me in there. You clearly don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not happy about
Adam
it.
is very nervous about the whole
I'm a
venture.
wreck. I'm a fucking wreck.
No, I think it's hilarious. It's
He may start drinking
No problem.
I probably will start drinking.
I just think that maybe a lot of people at the office might be pissed about this whole thing.
You would not be wrong.
Yeah.
You know, one of my followers on my Twitter, Pikesville Al, you know Pikesville Al?
No.
He's the guy that doesn't like you.
Oh, yeah, you told me
Does he
about
live in
that guy.
Pikesville, Maryland?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the thing about Larry King. He knows every.
I know everything.
Absolutely.
Everything you
From the
don't
show.
need to know.
That's a bride.
So who's a sponsor?
A sponsor?
Pikesville, Nick. Who's?
Pikesville Al does not like him.
Many people don't.
I did this video podcast they wanted me to do, and I said I should get a sidekick, like just pretend it's a talk show.
Yeah.
And but I didn't want, like, I wanted to make the host sidekick relationship like just way magnified, to what it was with Carson and Ed McMahon. So just a guy I could pile onto, and I didn't want any blowback, so I didn't want to get a comic that would joke back at me.
Right.
So I did the podcast with them, and they turned out to be perfect. Like but it was in a kind of a self-fulfilling thing. Like in the second episode we did a little comedy bit where I said, we got some letters from people, comments, and they're pretty good for the most part. And then I read them, and it'd be like, this guy says, because the first show was me and Super Dave. This guy says, it was great to see Norm and Super Dave, two comic heavyweights, sparring together. Lose the douchebag. And so that.
I love this podcast. It was great to see Norm Macdonald back, and Super Dave was the perfect choice as first guest. Lose the douchebag.
He's talking about me.
Well, we don't know if he's talking about you.
He's clearly talking about me.
He is talking about you. This is just one person's opinion. But I have hundreds of other people.
All right, yeah, you're right. It's one guy, he's entitled to his opinion, and that's fine, whatever.
And mostly they like the show.
Well, good. Well, let's hear another one then.
All right.
Let's hear another one.
What's the deal with that fucking douchebag? Well, that was about you.
Second one was like, I love the show, you know, everybody was great, but lose cunt face.
I did this as a favor to Norm. I'm not an actor and I'm not a comedian.
This guy says your face looks like a cunt.
I can't even change that. It's not the first time I've heard that, but I mean.
And so, anyways, it became self-fulfilling, and then everybody started actually doing it. And so I kind of felt sorry for Adam. He's like, oh, every week I read these messages, and they're just all, you know, now my nickname is Cunt Face, like on the message boards.
And he's just this sweet guy. He's like the most sincere guy in the world.
No, yeah, he's very, very earnest and sweet.
Thoroughly enjoyed it from top to bottom.
Great.
Blinky91 says. A sparkling exchange between veteran funny man Norm Macdonald and comedy legend Super Dave Osborne. One minor problem. The set.
Oh.
It's just too distracting. Why are there so many clocks? We're not tuning in to see what time it is in Hong Kong. We're tuning in to listen to comedians doing comedy. Plus some douchebag, I don't know who he was, but I'd like to punch him right in the fucking face. Not good. Okay. Let me see here. Ooh.
What is it? Is it a good one?
It's not good at all. I found one.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a positive one. Thoroughly enjoyed it from top to bottom.
Great.
Blinky91 says. A sparkling exchange between veteran funny man Norm Macdonald and comedy legend Super Dave Osborne. One minor problem. The set.
Oh.
It's just too distracting. Why are there so many clocks? We're not tuning in to see what time it is in Hong Kong. We're tuning in to listen to comedians doing comedy. Plus some douchebag, I don't know who he was, but I'd like to punch him right in the fucking face. Okay,
I mean,
we don't need to know what the people think.
Well, no, I mean, it's hard, Norm. It's hard. I'm not used, I'm not.
Look at this.
That was me. I met him.
That's you.
Yeah, I met him.
And
well,
Rick
that's me on
Dees.
Yeah, I was friends with Rick's son, so we saw him the Bad concert at the Coliseum.
Oh.
Way worse story than
Yeah,
you got. Macaulay Culkin and Michael Jackson played good cop, bad cop with you, and I met him backstage at the Coliseum.
And Rick Dees is just there.
Yeah, I'm more excited about Rick in this photo, to be honest. And did you met? I heard you met Michael Jackson.
I did meet Michael Jackson.
That's pretty goddamn cool.
Yeah, that is insane. It's quite a story. I can try to condense it for you.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
When I was in the 8th grade, I had a girlfriend, and everything fell apart later in my life, but I peaked around 8th grade, and I had a really pretty girlfriend, and her father knew Michael Jackson. He ran a studio or something, and they offered us to go out to Neverland for the day. And so we went up there, and it was probably months before the whole lawsuit and everything.
The first one?
Yeah, and in fact, Macaulay Culkin came by, as did as were all the boys that sued him and all this insane stuff that I did the whole thing. I met the
Wait, what do you mean the whole thing?
You know what I mean. No, I did not. I didn't even do it with my girlfriend. Why was I going to do it with him? I met Bubbles, and I went in Mac and Mike's theme park. It was a water park that he and Macaulay made themselves. They built basically like what every kid would ever want. Water. It was all built-in water guns at every post and flood buttons and all these water balloons, hundreds of them and we were on teams, and I was on his team. And we won.
You were on Michael Jackson.
I was on Michael Jackson's team, and I remember
You met Michael Jackson.
Oh, I hung out with him for the whole time.
That's awesome.
And we won, and then we played a game which now, as I recall it, does sort of seem slightly incriminating. But
go on.
It was called Smoke Tag. We went into a room that was filled with smoke. And we played tag in it, but you couldn't see anybody. So there was a lot of like tag playing, and that was when Macaulay Culkin was there at that point, and it was the 4th of July weekend, and they were having whole fireworks, and Macaulay Culkin sped up in a golf cart with flames on the side and jumped out with like a leather jacket, and he was like a real punk. And when we played this smoke tag, he threw me on the ground, and we started this like feud that continued throughout the evening. And when we ended up in Michael's toy attic after we watched a movie in his movie theater, including a retrospective of his own life. And then all the little Culkins were doing impressions of him, like hee hee, and he was sitting there just watched the whole retrospective. He at one point leaned over and said like to Macaulay, oh, remind me, I gotta call Toys R Us. We'll close it down and head out there over the weekend. It was like Elvis closed supermarkets or whatever. And then when we were up in this toy attic where he had, at the time, every gaming system that was around in every game, and Macaulay Culkin he was throwing stuff at me, and then he hit me on the head with something, and I said, don't do that again anymore, or I'm gonna. I was a black belt, but this was years later. I had already forgotten. And he did it again, and I threw him against the wall, and I started slamming him against the wall, saying, "I told you not to fucking." And then Michael Jackson came in between us. You can let your mind rest there for a second.
I imagine think of the bad video.
Yeah, and he parted us, and he put his arm around me, and he was like, sorry, Mac can get a little. Rambunctious, and he's like, so where are you from? And I was like, oh, I live in, Los Angeles. Oh, yeah. He's like, how old are you? And I said, oh, I'm 12. And he said, oh, you Jewish? Which was like, fuck, it still is. I don't know where that segue came from. And I said, I am. He said, oh, you gonna have a Hanukkah? And I said, what? And he said, a Hanukkah. You gonna have a Hanukkah? And I was like, he's like, I was like, every year I'll have one. And he's like, yeah, no, where you become a man. And I was like, oh, a bar mitzvah. He's like, yeah. And I said, yeah. And as soon as I said when I became a man, he shoved me away. I don't like him like that. No, but, and then I spent the night in his life-size doll house.
Jesus.
With my girlfriend at the time.
So you got to bring a girl then.
I had a girl there.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty amazing.
But it was absolutely the craziest thing. And I grew up, for me, it was that, Thriller was that was the
greatest
thing.
album ever. That's probably the craziest thing that'll ever happen to you in your whole life.
I often think that. Yeah. I look around a room and I'm like, nobody else here has ever had anything. Amazing. I did go into his bedroom, and I went into his closet, and it's when he would wear the red shirt, black pants, fedora, mirror sunglasses, and his closet, it was like a cartoon. It was literally about 150 red shirts, 150 black pants, 150 fedora. It was like,
that's incredible.
You know, and he had a TV that came out of the ground. I'd never seen anything like it.
That's a pretty goddamn cool story.
That beats the hell out of your story about getting fucked by Dan Fogelberg.
2 times today I've said something
no,
in
Dan
confidence.
Fogelberg's a great guy.
What if I actually got fucked by Dan Fogelberg?
Even like you say, your unwanted WNT allegations against Michael Jackson. There had to be kids that were like, well, "This is pretty cool."
Yeah.
This is not some old priest.
You know, we have some news stories here. Okay. I just wanted to cover. Let's see what's in the news, actually. Okay. You know, we got this one here, the international news. We have a new pope, and
how about all that crap made about that?
What
with
crap?
the black smoke and the white smoke and the millions of people?
Yeah.
I know the last thing the cardinal asked is, okay, before we elect a new pope, everyone raise your hand who molested a kid. Unanimous. I would like to see this. I brought this clip. Run it. This is how I would like to see the election of the Pope.
The election of the Pope?
Yes, run it.
As, here it is.
Here it
well,
is.
this isn't the...
no, this isn't it. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There's the crowd. Now watch. Watch. All right, the door's going to open. And there's the Pope. There's the Pope.
Wait, that's not...
That's the Pope.
We should explain to the folks that was Michael Jackson.
Let's explain. Yeah, explain who Michael Jackson is to the people.
Everyone knows Michael Jackson. What, are you retarded? So you thought about me in that way, and I thought about you. So the way I see it, we have 2 choices now. We can either go in the bedroom there, knock one out, and settle this once and for all. Or we can just pretend this never happened and, you know, play Scrabble or something.
Day, nobody's gonna change, you won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me, and I might act okay, say things will stay the same, say them all I
Oh. Diddly dee 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 diddly dee 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 diddly dee. Scrabble, excellent. All right.
Scientists in Africa have discovered the oldest known human ancestor, born 4.4 million years ago. Although unearthed only days ago, he is already engaged to Anna Nicole Smith. Texas millionaire J. Howard Marshall may have died 2 months ago. But as we see here, he and wife Anna Nicole Smith can still enjoy a romantic evening at home. Former Playboy centerfold and Guess jeans model Anna Nicole Smith collapsed this week after she suddenly realized that she actually had sex with this guy. And finally, in entertainment news, ex-Playboy centerfold Anna Nicole Smith has filed for bankruptcy. And saddest of all, she slept with this guy for nothing.
I forgot. I found something about that sort of topical because it was just Halloween and my pumpkin is sitting out on the stoop.
Yes.
A week after Halloween, you know.
So it's still
shriveled and wrinkled. And today, Anna Nicole Smith dated it. So. But Anna Nicole Smith, she's a great gal.
Yes.
But she does like the older fellas.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, Anna, where there's a will, there's a wake. I don't know. Now that one seems tasteless.
Who do you think is attractive? I like Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh,
come on.
You're
You don't like her?
Come on.
You don't like Anna Nicole Smith?
Come on, she's gotten heavy. He's putting me on.
No, I'm not.
I
saw a picture of her recently where she was really, really fat, where she didn't look good.
Right, but you're talking about years ago when she was thin. Oh, okay.
Not that long ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago.
So you like big breasts?
Yeah, I like big breasts.
Does your wife have big breasts?
She has normal size.
What,
breasts.
C cups?
I don't know. I hear you talking about those. I don't follow those.
You're in bad shape. Do you like Sally Struthers too?
Oh, I did.
You did, right? Yeah, that's your type.
Oh my
like
God,
blonde
I
and
love
buxom.
Sally Struthers.
Not anymore though.
What?
Well, you don't like her anymore.
No, I don't like her with the flies around her.
It's kind of a turn off.
I'm not a skilled interviewer. Let's fucking face it.
I'm not a skilled. What?
You've done podcasts before, though.
I have. I've never done. I haven't done a lot of video ones.
Have you done what the fuck?
I did Treat Williams's. I'm just kidding. Just trying to think of somebody random that video podcast.
You win that. No one more random than that.
He would be great.
Treat would be a treat.
Now we're going. This is a section where we do jokes.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think of them. They're written on blue cards.
For the first time in the show.
Yeah, the first time in the show. We do jokes. We stop our Mark Maron-like grilling of your personal life. Be a Mark Maron.
I don't have a Mark Maron.
Mark Maron gets it a lot, like anything you say. I get it,
Yeah.
Were you jealous of him? People constantly tell me, or I hear this, funniest man that ever lived. Is that
Mel Brooks?
Do you believe that?
Sure. I mean, I think he's of an era. You know what I mean? I think he's still. I think the amazing thing about him, if you are, well, you're not wired that way. If you're a Jew and your wiring is Jewish, Mel Brooks is going to tap right into that.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah.
Gotcha. I understand. I find that when I used to do stock lines. And then I was always sad because it would do better than the rest of my act.
People just love it because
But that's why it's a stock line.
Yeah, because the timing's built in. Oh, there was a dude. I don't know if I want to mention his name.
Yeah, what is it? The doorman at the store. There's a lot of stories there. This guy told me 2 of them were sucking each other off in the fucking parking lot.
Is that true?
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Really? The door? That was different when I was there.
I wasn't surprised at all.
Because they were those kind of guys?
Yeah, they drink a lot and they're wild.
Like those kind of guys. You talking about gay people?
Yeah.
I was.
What? I mean, who else is going to be sucking each other?
I know. Why do you call them those kind of guys? Why don't you just say, are they gay?
Are they gay? Why?
You sound like a guy from Mad Men or something.
No, I'm not.
Those kind of fellers?
No, that was not the tone I had.
you understand after a while, and even with politicians, like they're still human beings. And,
yeah, barely, but yeah, they're the worst kind of fucking people in the world.
That's true.
All of them.
I'm glad to hear you say that because everybody thinks you're all leftist and everything.
Well, I mean, I definitely land on the lefty side of things on ideological terms, but I found that from doing political talk radio, just being carrying water for any of them, you just got to realize the quality of people you're dealing with. You're dealing with fucking corporate whores who are operated by business interests. So really it's going to come down to however you view politics. The question is, do you give a shit about poor people, and and are we being taken advantage of?
Right.
Now, if people want to frame that as, Obama's a communist and draining us of our livelihood, well, that's your particular delusion, and that's fine. I mean,
right.
but I just got disillusioned with all of it because these are not quality people. I mean, I did a joke about Michelle Bachmann on Real Time.
I saw that.
Yeah, and I was getting flack from this, a very small portion of the right, that they were like, he's a misogynist. I'm like, she's a fucking pig. She's a fucking politician. Can you name me 2 politicians that command any respect whatsoever? Why do we respect these people? These people are car salesmen. They're idiots. They're more disingenuous than anybody as performers, and they basically figured out a way to bait and placate morons into voting against their self-interest. That's an amazing skill, but is it respectable? I don't know. Do you respect a guy that sells you horse shit in the guise of a health supplement?
I agree with you. I mean, I think politicians are terrible. I mean, people attack evangelists, but at least evangelists offer something.
Right. Well, they after the immediate relief of someone's pain and aggravation with another line of bullshit, but nonetheless, I mean, they're pretty evil too.
Well,
I mean, with politics, it's like. Yeah, I don't like to get into it that much anymore.
Yeah, let's not get into this shit, man.
Okay, buddy.
Because it's getting. I can see people not laughing now.
No, I mean, but laughter. But I know that you've gotten into a little bit of flack around it. But you're
flack around what?
Around politics.
What do you mean?
Well, just that you've said things that people have reacted to, but you're not like a political comic.
I'm not political. I've only said things on purpose to provoke people.
Right.
Once in a while.
You like doing that though.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
But I've never. But I've never. Because I don't know enough. And because I don't respect political humor when it's nothing but gossip.
Yeah, and mostly comics and people like us, people who are obviously First Amendment warriors to a certain degree. We like living the way we want to live. So it's really just going to come down to money. It's like, how do I keep my money? I mean, that's the biggest political question that most righties ask themselves. It's like, I'd like to keep as much of my money as possible. And if that's in a minority opinion, how do we get this majority of poor people to get me to keep my money and believe that they're doing the right thing?
Yeah, it's a tough fucking thing because apparently I read this, if all the money in the world was equally divided among everybody would be dead fucking poor.
Yeah. There's these moments where I don't talk about as much as I used to, but then there's moments where you're like, there's a moment that I was on a fucking radio show the other day. And this was an interesting thing because it's about professionalism. I don't do political talk radio. I've got my political views and they're fairly general. I'm not trying to support any politician, but I have the way I think about things.
Right,
but there are politicians that represent the opposite of what I think. So I'm on this talk show with a guy, it's a Fox affiliate, but I'm there to plug my comedy and talk about my podcast and be funny with this dude who's a talk show host. He's a radio professional. He runs an entertainment show for the most part, but he's been dying to talk to Rand Paul about the bridge situation because I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. He's the fucking senator.
Right.
They got bridges falling down, and he's been trying to get this guy on the show. And the guy he calls in when I'm there. So now I've got, if I was doing political talk radio, I mean, it would have been what the fuck are you thinking? You and your libertarian bullshit, and how are we going to pay for this? I would have jumped in and done that. But there was this moment where it's like, I just done a segment with this radio professional. He was like, God, it's great to talk to a guy who knows how to be on radio. We're having a good time. Hold on, the senator's on the phone. I got to sit there and go, oh, do I do this? Would it be worth it to sabotage this for some lefty, credibility? And then I realized, dude, he's a radio guy, you're a comedian, you're having a good conversation, he's trying to talk to this guy about a local problem, just shut the fuck up and let him do his job, and then when you come back, get back to what you were talking about. And I chose to do that, but I did walk out saying like, "You pussy! Why the fuck you had such an opportunity there."
You know, I was on Politically Incorrect a couple of times, and fuck, man, you know, you have to have an opinion about every goddamn thing on that show. So,
or you can just do a little homework and write some jokes.
Yeah, but sometimes I remember at the break, like Scott Carter go, "Enough with the jokes." But I'll never forget it. Like I'm very unlearned, and so before the show, Scott came in, who was the
producer. Yeah, he's been on the show. Yeah.
So he said, "What do you think about China and Taiwan?" And seriously, I only know those as words, you know. So I was like, I don't know anything. Like, can't I have another subject? So, anyways, then we get out because he goes because Bill believes this. I mean, anyways, when we get out, we're introducing the guy beside me. The smart guy, right? Mm-hmm. He wrote a book on China and Taiwan. Right. So fucking Bill Maher, he starts with me. He goes like, "What was it, China and Taiwan?" I go, "I don't know. Fucking ask this guy. What do I know? I'm a nightclub comic. What?" Like, that's what made me laugh at that show. Everyone's opinion's equal. Right. You know? Right. Like a nightclub comic and an expert. And then another thing I always found funny about that show is the comedians try to be very serious, and then the serious guys are trying to get jokes. Yeah. So it's like
it's not always our shining moment.
I do like Bill though.
No, Bill's great at what he does. Yeah. Like he started out a straight up joke dude, and he knows his shit. And it's pretty amazing.
You know what's funny about him? I don't know if I should say this or not, but I mean he's probably aware of it. When he does his monologue, have you noticed when he does his monologue, he does Johnny Carson?
No, no, definitely. He definitely models himself. I think that's been his style for a long time. He definitely takes the posture.
But I find it very funny because, you know, he's got the posture and the timing and everything. And he's like, and then she came in his face, you know, but it's crazy words come out.
And Carson would have loved to have done that.
Yeah, he probably would have. You know, still funny is Cleese.
Oh my God!
Hysterically funny.
No,
Eric Idle not so much, but boy, Cleese. He did a sketch when I was on Cleese and Palin. It was funny. Between Dress and Air, they went to the museum.
Wow!
They're so smart, you know. Everybody else is hanging out. So, anyways, they did the parrot sketch and another sketch. So I'm running down to see him. You know, you can see him live in Dress. You know, I mean, not Dress
Yeah, I think because people either didn't know it or they knew it so well, it was like, cool, oh, they're doing it. I remember Lauren introduced me to Michael Palin once, and I felt, it was like the Bill Murray experience, where I'm like, everything I do is just like, like I saw you at 7, you know, like what do you say? And I was just like, hi.
Michael Palin, please don't applaud, we're short on time. Thank you.
And I'm John Cleese. One of my ex-wives died, you know, that it was very sad because it was the wrong one.
I tell you, until I met my wife, I always felt incomplete. Now I'm finished. My mother will be in a car and we'll be driving and she'll go, Ralph's. She'll just read words on building.
I'm 79.
Yeah. You're 79?
I don't look it, do I?
No, because my mother's 79 and...
She looks old.
Maybe that's the way it is with ladies and men.
I'm 79.
Yeah. You're 79?
I don't look it, do I?
No, because my mother's 79 and...
She looks old.
Maybe that's the way it is with ladies and men.
New songs on the radio sounding fake. Prince and Genesis were better anyway.
I had a moment of inspiration, and I'm telling you, Conan, it was the high point of my creativity, because she was, you know, she's probably about 92, and it's not very much fun being 92, I think, because, you know, all the people at the home are dying around you like flies, you know, you're just sort of chatting to someone, and then you go up and get your custard and come back, and he's dead. I rang her up one day, and she was quite seriously, really giving me all the reasons that she didn't want to go on living. And, you know, I felt helpless. I thought, what can I do? And I had this moment of inspiration. I said, Mum, I have an idea. And she said, oh, what is that? And I said, look, if you're still feeling this way next week, I have a friend in Fulham, and I could give him a call if you like, but only if you like. And he could come down and kill you.
These days with your comedy, do you feel like you're walking on eggshells at all? Do you feel more like nervous about stuff you tweet and stuff you say just because of the climate we're in and everything that's happened?
Yeah, like we're going to go do stand-up right now. It's mostly trying out new stuff. You don't have the freedom to just talk and free associate and then, carve it back from there. Because usually the process would be you go way over the line. Yeah. And then you bring it, and then people go, we hate you. And then you take away all the parts where they hate you, and then you're left with the stuff that's not, that's on the line but not over it.
Is your starting point a little bit more sort of tamer these days?
Oh, yeah. It's very calculated and thought out. And
does that hurt your act, though?
Yeah, it's way less funny.
Is that right?
Other than it being not as funny, it's wonderful. It doesn't hurt anyone's feelings anymore, but virtually no one laughs. So it's a trade-off.
But so that's really hurt your career in terms of the fact that you're an eggshell comedian. And I don't think like...
Is that a new term?
I just made it up just now. Shouldn't comedy be some sort of sacred place where you're allowed to say whatever's kind of on your mind and like, if it's funny, then it's okay?
It used to be, like Jerry Seinfeld always says, the audience will let you know.
Yeah.
When it's gone too far, because they're a cross, representation of the population.
Yeah.
But now it's not enough to get, 99%. You have to get 100%. Most of the audience wants to be funny. It doesn't care about anything but that. They just want to escape.
Yeah.
But a tiny a group of people ruin it for everyone.
And that's who you cater your performance to these days?
I cater my performance to a tiny group of people.
That's sad.
That hate me. Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald, and now the fake news. Our top story tonight. In an emotional press conference this week, Bob Dole announced that he was resigning from the U.S. Senate, where he had served for nearly 3 decades. Dole said he regretted leaving the Senate, but needed to focus all his energies on a goal many had once thought impossible: getting Bill Clinton reelected. Following his poor finish in the Iowa caucuses, Texas Senator Phil Gramm has withdrawn from the presidential race and will soon announce his full backing and support for first-place finisher Bob Dole. In response, Dole said, "I am screwed." Six of one, half dozen of another. During an interview 2 weeks ago, Bob Dole said to a reporter, quote, "Whoever wins in New Hampshire will probably be the Republican nominee." When approached by the reporter for a quote following his stunning loss Tuesday, Dole locked himself in his campaign bus and pretended to be asleep. Speaking in Florida earlier this week, Bob Dole launched his harshest attack yet on President Clinton, accusing him of a, quote, naked failure of leadership and moral confusion in the fight against drugs. In response, President Clinton said, "Everything you say is true, but hey, guess what? I'm still going to win." In less than 24 hours, the first presidential debate of the campaign will be underway. And today, both candidates were at Hartford's Bushnell Auditorium for some last-minute fine-tuning. President Clinton is still deciding which themes to emphasize in his opening remarks, while Bob Dole is deciding whether to pull the fire alarm or phone in a bomb threat. According to a new CNN poll, Republican candidate Bob Dole now trails President Clinton by 15 points. A Dole campaign spokesman says that despite these numbers, it is still possible for them to reach their ultimate goal, to lose by 7 points.
Meanwhile, Bob Dole brought his struggling presidential campaign to New Jersey, vowing, in his words, to prove Yogi Berra was right when he said, "It ain't over till it's over." Reached for comment, Yogi Berra said, "It's over." This week, presidential candidate Bob Dole sent his top campaign aide to Dallas in an effort to convince Ross Perot to drop out of the race and endorse the Dole ticket. Emerging from the 2-hour meeting with Perot, the aide announced, "I'm voting for Ross Perot." At a campaign stop in Florida Thursday, a frustrated Bob Dole told a reporter, quote, "Something's wrong with America. I wonder sometimes what people are thinking about, if people are thinking at all." At which point the reporter said, "Can you repeat that? I was thinking about how I'm voting for Bill Clinton, and I missed that last part." Yesterday, in a dramatic finish to his White House bid, Bob Dole began a 96-hour, 15-state, non-stop campaign tour that will take him right through to Election Day. Political experts are calling the grueling marathon a, quote, last-ditch effort, while medical experts are calling it, quote, a suicide attempt. In an interview this week, Bob Dole said he is strong enough to handle the pain of losing the presidential election, although he did admit that the shock of winning would give him a giant heart attack. At a rally in California this week, Dole urged voters to ignore polls which have him trailing President Clinton by double digits. In addition, Dole asked them to ignore newspaper headlines next Wednesday that say, "Dole loses in landslide." Embattled House Speaker Newt Gingrich may finally have solved his financial troubles. On Thursday, Gingrich announced that former Senator Bob Dole has loaned him the $300,000 needed to pay his ethics committee fine. And today, more good news for Gingrich. Dole has already forgotten he loaned him the money. This week, after 50 hours of failed budget talks with Bill Clinton, a frustrated Bob Dole said, quote, "We ought to have a new president," and added, "and he should be a really, really old guy."
Yeah, I know. You've had your fun now, Norm. You're out of work.
Well, I thought I'd just do a joke about you. I had a little
Yeah, what
joke.
you've been doing, those, I've been missing a lot of them, but your fun's over, the election's over. Unless there's a recount, you're out of work.
Oh, no. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Maybe we can go have a beer or something. How'd that be?
You are with me.
All right. Bob Dole, everybody. Good night, folks. Hi, I'm Bob Dole. And pipe down, you damn hoodlum. Well, it's great to be here at Woodstock. As you know, Bob Dole is reaching out to the youth of America, and sitting here in the audience, I've had the privilege of meeting quite a few of you young people tonight. I learned something very important about the youth of America. I don't like you. A lot of you can go to hell. Well, regardless, I'm here to talk about the MTV Viewers' Choice Award. Pick up the phone and cast your vote for the best video. Remember, vote for Bob Dole in November. Bob Dole's the candidate who gives you free cigarettes. That's right, free cigarettes. There you go. There, smoke them if you got them, you damn dirty hippies. There, free cigarettes. Dole in 96. Peace out.
These broken pieces I hold in my hands don't have a chance to mend at all. Before they get thrown into chaos again, I try to pretend I'm whole enough to stand in this world so unsteady and witness the heartache of many. But how long until we...
There's no chance of you running for president again?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really? Because, you know, it'd be good for me. Kind of help you keep you on the front pages, you know?
Now, believe me, Norm, running for president doesn't always keep you in the front pages unless you, of course, take a dive off a podium.
Yeah, that did get a lot of coverage, didn't it?
Yeah, and thanks for noticing here on Saturday Night Live. I appreciate it.
I don't write a lot of this stuff.
I do either, yeah.
The greatest offense of all. I didn't write it. Was it really, was it fun working with him? Was it exciting?
Oh, yeah, because he's my hero. He's been my hero for a long time. You know, and, you know, to meet your hero. Do you have a hero?
Norman Fell from Three's Company.
That's your hero?
Yeah. Mr. Roper. Yeah.
I know Mr. Roper?
Yeah.
That's not a good hero.
That's all I got.
Better than this guy's hero is some gay porn actor. Anyway.
What are you talking about? What?
I don't know.
Insane.
No.
What are you saying?
Let me tell you something about gay porn.
What's-
Seriously.
It's fine.
That was a long one. Okay. No, I'll tell you something about gay porn. Seriously.
Okay.
That doesn't mean a guy's gay. I'm not saying that. Because a guy watches gay porn all the time.
Just cut to a single. Just of Norm, really?
Gay porn. I enjoy gay porn. I'm not gay. Gay porn is a genre that just cuts across all demographics. You know? Young people, old people, straight people, the gay people enjoy it. Everybody likes gay porn. But this guy really likes it. No, I don't know.
I thought I heard patriotic music playing behind that speech.
No, that's not what I meant to say. I meant to talk about Bob Dole. This guy's my hero.
First ruined my reputation, you know.
I'll
Just
tell you
in
something.
passing.
This guy is not gay. If anybody's not gay, it's this guy.
Oh, I'm so...
Seriously.
I am so totally straight. Oh, yeah.
No, you are.
I love the ladies.
No, he does. No, he likes girls. He likes girls.
Does this happen every time you try and talk about Bob Dole? You start talking about gay porn.
I know, I don't know what that was. But listen, the Bob Dole, I love this guy. He's my hero. He's always been my hero for like the last 18 years since I was very young. And I always liked Bob Dole. And so it was an honor to... Now it sounds weird because I was talking about gay porn. But
I'm questioning your ability to continue here.
Yeah.
After but go ahead.
You know what he did? He gave me his Purple Heart. He has 2 Purple Hearts, you know. And so when we were doing it, he put a Purple Heart on my lapel because he had one on his lapel.
Oh,
so it was
that's cool.
very moving,
That's
you know,
cool.
to have Bob Dole.
Were you going to say Michael Jackson again?
Yeah, Bob. Why do you have to point everything out? Nobody heard.
I heard you. You heard me, right?
They're gonna
like you're just having a conversation and they're all like doing tax work. Well, they're sort of paying attention. You know? There's a third of the audience that is doing other stuff, but for us,
he gave me a Purple Heart.
You're going to try and continue this joke? All right.
It's not a joke. It was a very moving thing. It was one of the most moving things that ever happened to me. I got a Purple Heart, and I was standing there with Bob Dole beside me in this Purple Heart, and, you know, it was just a very moving thing because, you know, I don't know. You don't have, you know.
That's cool. I would think that would be a moving thing.
Yeah, it was very moving because you think of how he got the Purple Heart, you know, and you know, he took it.
He's being serious now.
I'm being serious. It was a very moving thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's cool. All right.
I'm not very good with the stories about the moving things.
It's interesting that John Elway won 2 Super Bowls in a row after a career of nothingness. He would have just been a bum. And then he did the same thing almost with Peyton, you know. Peyton really should have won at least 2. I mean, he won his last one.
He won his...
I mean, his last one. He didn't really win.
Right.
But he really got burned by Baltimore one year. And
that's right, that bomb.
Yeah. I mean, not by Baltimore, but by his own defense. But it was, I didn't think about it till just now, but maybe he was trying to do the same thing with Peyton. But he got him his second, so Eli doesn't have to have the most.
Now, do you have a team? Do you have a rooting interest in football?
Yeah. I have a team I very much like. It used to be Denver because this is an interesting thing that happened. I never liked Peyton Manning. I don't know why, but I just didn't.
Are you a Brady guy, or are you just an anti-Peyton guy?
No, I just for some reason didn't like Peyton. I didn't like that Eli. I really didn't like that Eli was drafted by Seattle and said, no, I'm going somewhere else. I'm like, what? You're allowed to do that?
Elway did that to Baltimore.
That's right. He did. You're right. So I said, so anyways, but Peyton Manning one time, I was in a hotel in New York and I was leaving it and Peyton Manning was coming in and he walked up to me and he said, "Hi, I'm a big fan. Peyton Manning?" You know, like he said his own name as if he needed to. And I liked him. That's how shallow I am. A guy likes me and then I like him.
Well, you know he was there that night.
What night?
At Radio City Music Hall.
Oh, well, you're right.
He was a young.
He was really young.
Yeah, he was super young. He's one of the awkward cutaways. That you always get.
Right, because I remember looking and going, "Wow, is that him?" Because I saw just recently.
That was quite a game, you know. I mean, you know who impressed me the most yesterday was Kobe Bryant. Unbelievable. This guy's amazing. 19 years old, the youngest starter ever in the All-Star game, and he played so well that today he was named spokesman for NBC's new public service campaign called Screw It, Who Needs College?
I need your love. You free my mind. I need your love. Yeah, you free my mind.
Do you worry when you're in the audience at the ESPYs that somebody's going to make fun of you?
Absolutely. But I think athletes, for the most part, have pretty thick skin.
I think so, too,
And
yeah.
so, but I think it's different, Jimmy. If I make fun of an athlete, at least I've kind of been there. When they get made fun of by like a unathletic comedian, it's kind of different.
Right. You know, like I'm trying to think of some examples, but yeah, but like someone
Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, right, like a Norm Macdonald,
Not
for
you,
instance.
Not you.
Yeah.
I was not talking about you.
Now, were you going to tell the Willie Nelson joke? How did we get to that?
Well, you said we were talking about jokes, and you said, and Daniel Collison, our producer, said a joke about what it doesn't matter.
Yes.
The Willie Nelson joke.
Yes.
Which many people know. I told it to a very smart guy because I was just discussing with you why smart guys, super smart guys, generally don't have a great sense of humor, and it's hard to understand why they don't. But this might be why. I told the Willie Nelson joke to a very, very smart guy, one of the smartest guys in the world. And he just looked at me. And so this is what happened. So I'll tell the joke. So the joke, as you know, a guy said, "Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'll be the smart guy."
Okay.
You tell me the joke.
You tell the joke.
No, I'll be the smart guy because I'll explain why I didn't.
Oh, I didn't get the joke.
Yeah.
What words do you not want to hear after you just finished blowing Willie Nelson?
Oh, I don't know what.
I'm not Willie Nelson. That's the reaction the guy gave you?
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, because the only reason one of the reasons I guess you might blow Willie Nelson is because you're hoping to get a backstage pass or curry favor from him, but then you mistakenly didn't blow the guy.
No. It doesn't make any sense because you begin the joke saying, "What do you not want to hear?" while getting blown by Willie Nelson.
No, it's not why you're getting.
What's the first sentence?
The way I was told to
First
me.
sentence of the joke.
Yes. What words do you not want to hear after you finish blowing Willie Nelson?
Yes, but you were never blowing Willie Nelson.
That's what this guy would say.
Yeah. That's the illogic that he had problems with.
But
you were never blowing Willie Nelson, so you lied in the first part of your thing.
You're right.
So you couldn't possibly hear that from him because it would be Willie Nelson speaking.
But I know, but it wouldn't be Willie Nelson, it'd be the guy that said he was Willie Nelson.
You would have to say when you thought you were getting blown by Willie Nelson. So anyways, that's some guys are so smart.
I know it's time to close my eyes to old ends, open up to new friends, leave my heart in Berlin, where the tables turning, seeking.
Well, singer Willie Nelson, who was arrested recently in Texas for marijuana possession, saw the charges against him dropped this week. A judge ruled the arrest had been illegal because police didn't have probable cause to search his car for pot. How about the fact he's Willie Nelson?
I was early on that Sunny in Philadelphia. I told everybody to watch it from the early start.
And who else?
Got nothing from it.
And then
I even phoned their agent. I said, "Hey, that's a good show. Nobody's watching it, but I like it, and I'm in TV."
Nah,
they never got back to me.
Never did. DeVito's
What?
DeVito's the EP on that show.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
got
yeah.
an axe
What
to
was-
grind with.
Why? Because of the fist fight I had with Christopher Lloyd back in at the Improv.
Exactly. You remember the incident.
This one's more like a factoid.
Danny DeVito looks like one of those guys with a short but thick penis.
Right? He has to have the thickest fucking cock.
It's true.
No. So, but one big news story: Twister is the big what do you call it? Movie. Yeah. Twister's the big movie, and I got some news. Apparently now they're thinking about Oscars for the movie.
Yeah.
They're thinking of Best Actor for The Wind. Before the show, you said that stunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were right. I don't know about politics. All I know is yesterday it was windy.
Now, you see, to me...
Know that,
right? To me, Norm, this sounds like a topic you can sink your teeth into.
Yeah, exactly.
It was windy.
This is what the people really care about. Yesterday in New York, you guys know how windy it was, right? I'll tell you, it was so windy. I was walking down the street. I seen a robin. You know them robins?
Yeah.
He was pulling like a worm out of the ground.
Yeah.
Got whiplash. I never saw anything like it. You know robins pull worms out of the ground? No, I never seen a robin. But no,
That's pretty windy, yeah.
I saw Glenn Campbell in the street. You know Glenn Campbell?
Sure, yeah.
His hair moved. It was, it was crazy.
No one's made a Glenn Campbell joke since like 1977. What did you do? What happened? Did an old man sell that to you on the way to the show? Hey, I got one for you, Sonny. Try this one.
Yeah.
Man, Glenn Campbell's going to be watching at home like, man, I can't believe it.
Yeah. Johnny Carson put me in his will. He's not dead, though, right?
That's a windmill. It does not, in fact, pump water, but it's pretty. I think everybody can enjoy, again, sturdy steel structure. That's...
You ever tilt at it?
What's tilt at the windmill?
Yeah, I thought that's what you did to them. Wait, do you know Robert Duvall?
I do. Norm, you're killing my flow here.
I'm sorry.
You're killing my flow. Okay, here's a windmill.
Wait, you're gonna me?
Norm! You're too often to attack and fly away.
I love you. Let's bump the pit bulls.
Not salad tossing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay.
The artist formerly known as Prince says he now wants to be known as simply the artist. Meanwhile, I will continue to refer to him as simply the fruit. In other music news, several major acts are on tour this month, including the Counting Crows, Metallica, and the Fruit.
Joining us now, Robert Duvall, whose new movie, 7 Days in Utopia, is now in theaters. Mr. Duvall, welcome.
Oh, yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, baby. I was telling Kevin earlier, this is how I go to movies. People go, you want to go to a movie? I go, is Robert Duvall in it? They go, yes, I go.
Well, all right, Dave.
Yeah, that's okay. If that's what you really mean, that's fine.
I really mean it. And
All
I
right,
consider
good.
you the greatest actor in the world.
Well, thank you very much.
And I wonder, because I always think if somebody is the best, they know it at some level. And also, I know that you're a man of faith and false modesty is a sin. And I was wondering, do you consider yourself the greatest actor in the world?
I think I can hold my own with a lot of people. So I don't know if there's one person that's the greatest. Some people say Daniel Day-Lewis is the best. He's improved. I didn't used to like him. I like him a lot now. But there's a group that are very good. So I don't know if anybody's the best.
Well, here's how I am with acting. I have a lot of problems with acting because I have trouble suspending my disbelief. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times when I'm watching an actor, I can see him acting. Like I'm going, oh, that guy's acting.
Right.
I don't see that with you. Never.
Well, you try to keep it invisible. You try to take it back to just the basic premise of I talk, you listen, I talk, to keep it that simple between the words action and cut. If you're doing film, so you try to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, an actor, well, let's say a guy is always himself, you know what I mean? Like a guy like John Wayne or something like that.
He could be very good.
Him, I believe, because there's no disconnect between what I see when he's interviewed and what I see. But you, on the other hand, are different in every role.
Well, you still got to bring yourself underneath. There's only one you, right?
Right, that's true, yeah.
So you can't really become something that you're not. You create the illusion of something else, but it's you underneath. You got one set of emotions, one psyche, one everything. So you have to know how to use yourself to bend it or whatever to make it seem like it's something else.
Now, I've noticed in your body of work, obviously talking to you, you're an incredibly literate person and a very thinking person. And I met you one time. I'll tell you this. I met you one time at Saturday Night Live. Garth Brooks was the host, and you came in.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I was very excited because you were going to do I don't know if you remember this, you were going to do a song.
Yeah.
And you didn't do it, and I was very sad about that. But I was so, I wanted to meet you so bad, and then I met you and I talked to you, and I had all these questions for you. And then you started talking to me and asking me questions, and you were looking at me very deeply and asking me, because I come from a rural a farm area in Canada, and you were asking me about ranchers and stuff like that. And I don't know if you did that to deflect my questions or if you do that to study people and steal their soul.
I don't know. What part? Where are you from? From what part of Canada?
So you're doing it right now. I'm from rural Alberta, where there's
I love Alberta. That's the only part of Canada I really like.
Oh, really?
I love Alberta. The ranch people up there, the Buse family. It's good people up there. Great people. Yeah.
And that brings me to you. You often portray the common man. Is that something that you're not Southern, but you've played a lot of Southern characters?
Well, my dad's from Virginia. That's the beginning of the South, so I feel comfortable. I like the Southeast Conference Football League, and I feel okay in the South, even though in Texas too. Some of my mother's people are from Texas, which is below the Mason-Dixon line, so to speak. Yeah, I like to portray the common man, except, when I played, one of my favorite parts was when I played Joseph Stalin. He wasn't so he was common, but not so common,
So you don't mind playing a guy that you have to figure out the good part of him or something?
No, each part's a challenge, so, you go with what you have to do, research or whatever, and just jump in and do it,
Now, Kevin Farley has a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever been you've done some big movies with big actors. Was it ever hard? Like, did you get nervous, and how do you deal with your nerves? When you have to really bring your game, your A game, and that could, like, say, The Godfather with the scenes with Brando or anything like that. Were you ever really nervous, where you had trouble like controlling your nerves? Where you're like, oh gosh.
Yeah. Well, the last job I did was the most nervous I've ever got in my career. I worked with Billy Bob Thornton. I call him the hillbilly Orson Welles. The guy's brilliant, and we did an interesting movie. And And the night before, I had to do a scene, and it worked. But I was so frightened. I had to do a guy that his grandson slips LSD in his iced tea.
Wow.
And I had to, like, unbeknownst, I had to. So I did. I think that intense fear helped propel me into the scene and make it work in a strange way.
Yeah.
Because it was a very demanding scene, but it worked. It worked, and Billy doesn't care if you change things. Some of these directors you can't change to air.
Yeah.
But a guy like Billy, he leaves it open, even though the writing is brilliant. What he's done, he lets you come up with stuff at the moment, which is very admirable. I think.
Yeah. It is interesting that you bring up Billy Bob Thornton, because I agree with you. When I saw Sling Blade, I was like, this guy is exactly what you said. I said, this guy's Orson Welles. How did he do
absolutely.
this?
He's up there with Coppola or Altman or any of them. For me. Yeah.
But then he stopped.
Well, he stopped, and he has a country band. He goes around. So I sent a message to him, do you sing as good as Lefty Frizzell, knowing the answer, I guess he sings okay. I don't know. But, he's got to get back to his A game, because the guy, he wrote, directed, and acted, and he's on a high level in all those aspects.
Well, can I ask you a question? Because you were in the Sling Blade. You played his dad.
Yeah.
This may be I don't know if you want to answer this question or not, but you're an honest guy, right?
Sometimes. Yeah.
You go on Sling Blade.
Yeah.
You're watching that. Does that character he did in Sling Blade remind you of a character you may have done 30 years ago?
Well, yeah, that's what Horton Foote thought, maybe. You're talking about Tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's what Horton Foote thought maybe he was doing me, but I don't think so. I don't know if he ever even saw that. But not really, maybe a little bit. They could have been cousins, so to speak, yeah. But, when I did it with Billy Bob, there was no script. He just rolled the camera and we improvised.
Is that right?
Was it.
Wow.
So, he's great to work with, and he's got some more things he's going to do, and he's great.
You have an incredible taste in the choices you make, right? You must put thought into this.
Do what now?
Are you a literary person?
Well, somewhat. I read, what I want to read. I'm reading a lot of stuff on the Comanche Indians now, because a friend of mine may direct Empire of the Summer Moon, that terrific script on.
Oh yeah.
I guess I may be wrong, but Horton Foote once said people don't know what goes on beyond the South Jersey Shore from New York necessarily, right. And I think that I don't know what I saw of The Searchers. It may be a great movie by John Ford, but what I saw, I got to watch the whole thing. I found some of it corny. Yeah. Melodramatic.
You found some of The Searchers corny?
Yes, absolutely.
Which parts?
Absolutely. Please come home. Please come back. And this book deals with the real thing of that woman that was captured by by the Comanches.
Sure.
And, but if you criticize, a friend of mine once said, if you criticize John Ford, I got this great icon from Hollywood, it's like attacking motherhood.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's some of those old guys, like when I did True Grit, that was one of the worst directors I ever worked with in my life, Henry Hathaway.
Yeah,
really? One of the worst. Some of those old guys were like tyrants,
Yeah.
The opposite of Billy Bob.
Right.
Yeah. And I remember you saying one time that I found interesting, that you either like the new kind of acting or the old kind of acting, and you don't like the old kind of acting.
Well, a guy like Spencer Tracy, for the most part, was terrific. Of course, when he did Old Man in the Sea, the Communist daily newspaper in Havana, Cuba, blasted him, saying that here's a Anglo-Saxon trying to play a Cuban, but actually, when he was right, like Bad Dad, Black Rock, he was wonderful. But I think that the young actors today are better than ever.
You do.
Yeah. Absolutely. You go in each country. Look at the African Americans, the black actors we have now. They never could act before. Before it was like Uncle Tom time.
Yeah.
Wonderful black actors, Spanish actors, guys in Argentina I know, wonderful actors, Spain, England. Mm-hmm. It's open to all now. It's an in medium that's open to all. So I think there's good and bad still, but I think overall the young actors, the bar's been raised. Maybe those who went before, we helped them find that aspect of it all. But No, I really think that it's open for all, and there's still bad work, obviously, and bad movies, but some of the young actors are wonderful.
Well, tell us about this young actor that you're working with in 7 Days.
He's as good as they get. He's terrific. Lucas Black. He's a scratch golfer.
Wow.
It's the only movie ever where the lead actor can hit the ball, really.
Yeah,
he's
no, that's true.
Guy. In between takes, he said, I will challenge the world champion turkey caller and beat him. He does these phenomenal animal calls because he grew up with nature, fishing in the backwoods of Alabama,
Wow.
But he's a terrific kid, and when we did the movie, it was wonderful to go work in Texas with just great people down in that hill country, and Lou Waters and his family, and Ken Herford and the golf pro Stan. All these wonderful people welcomed us, and it was great working with. That's one of the reasons I took it to work with Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to love it because I love golf. I don't think you love golf, but I love golf.
Well, I like it okay. It just takes too much time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It does.
And my good friend Jimmy Kahn's always out playing, but I'm afraid to ask him his handicap because I know he'll exaggerate.
Yeah, a lot of golfers lie. I read a thing once in Golf Digest. They went out because it's very, a lot of integrity of real golfers, and it was.
Yeah, well, I've heard of guys picking up the ball when you're not looking and throwing it another 100 feet.
Yeah.
or on the scorecard, I guess it's easier to cheat consciously and unconsciously,
Sure. My second favorite golfer behind Tiger is in your movie, KJ Choi.
Oh, he's terrific. Yeah.
Was he a cool guy?
Yeah, I didn't get to know him, but they say he is. Yeah, he played a villain, but he's supposed to be really a terrific, really a nice guy, So it was interesting working with those guys. I love working in Texas.
Yeah. We should talk about Lonesome Dove because that's
my favorite part.
That's your favorite part ever?
Yeah, ever.
Real, not Tender Mercies?
No, ever. No. I said let the English play Hamlet and King Lear. I'll play Augustus McCrae.
What's interesting? I just thought of this, but you, in many, like we were talking about Tomorrow, Boo Radley, obviously, you played.
Horton Foote, the great writer, my friend. It was wonderful, man.
And so many of these parts that you played were very, is the word taciturn? People that don't speak is that a word?
Yes.
I don't know if that's a word. But you don't speak a lot, and in Tomorrow, you virtually don't speak at all.
Well, when I did, I saw a guy in southern Missouri wants to talk like a cow. So that's the way I kind of did it. We did it as a stage play first for 25 performances at Herbert Berghoff's studio in New York City, and then we did the movie afterwards,
Yeah.
So it was like a complete experience.
But it just occurred to me since you played these characters before Lonesome Dove that were very non-verbose, that maybe Call would be the guy that you would play.
Well, that's what McMurtry still says that I should have played Call. He wrote it. He's absolutely out to lunch on that.
You mean after the movie?
My ex-wife said to me, I read a novel I like better than Dostoevsky. Don't let them talk you into playing Call. You got to play this other guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I really.
So even after the miniseries, McMurtry thought you were miscast.
Yeah, well, that shows you where his head is.
Well, can we come back? Can you stay for another thing? Because I wanted to talk about faith with you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We'll talk about a little faith. Come on, let's do that.
That'd be cool, baby. All right, we'll be back with the greatest actor in the world by my standard and by his own, self-admitted. I wanted to talk about country music because I love country music, and I know Robert Duvall.
Oh, yeah,
loves
I like it.
music.
I love it, yeah.
Yeah, and we actually have a common friend, Billy Joe Shaver, who I love.
Oh, Billy Joe, you know, my wife made a wonderful documentary on him.
I saw it. It was awesome.
Oh, he was so natural in front of the camera. When I put him in the Apostle way back the second day, he came out and said, hell, I got this deal licked, he said.
Now, listen, if there's a guy whose life story should be made into a movie, isn't it that guy?
I think so. Chris Christopherson once said, if life was a television show, Billy Joe Shavers come on every morning at 4 a.m.
I want to ask you this, Mr. Duvall, because I want to, since we were talking about country music and Billy Joe Shaver and stuff, when I talk to Billy Joe Shaver, this is what I love about country music, and I talk to him about writing a lot. Right. And he says that the hardest thing about it is taking very big ideas and putting them in very small writing, very pithy writing, not to be over. And it strikes me that your acting is like that, like a lot of the things that you do, like in Tender Mercies, which I loved, you don't speak a lot.
Right. Yeah. So now what's the question?
The question is that why you love country music?
No, I just like country music because I've always listened to my brothers sang opera and they were classically trained, and I always just loved country music. That's what I loved it.
Now, I suppose you'd say that's corny, too. You seem to say everything's corny.
Well, no. There's a legitimate sense of melodrama. I mean, you find that in Shakespeare. Melodrama can be very valid, things that seem melodramatic,
Right, because I'm always defending country music because people say to me, like, oh, country music, it's just about, your dog dying, you're losing your truck, and you're...
Right, play it all backwards.
Yeah, but I go, that's life. That's what life is.
Yeah, but the point is, I took my wife to her first opera here in Washington, D.C., where they played they put the subtitles up there, what they were singing in Italian. It was far cornier and simplistic than any country song I ever heard.
So you're country musicians you like. Lefty Frizzell, you said?
Yeah, well, I love Merle Haggard, but there's so many I like. I like Bobby Bare. I loved Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash. They died too young, these guys.
Yeah. Well, Waylon Jennings, he was the greatest. It's interesting you mentioned...
Tammy Wynette was wonderful. She was a wonderful lady.
Yeah, you like lady singers?
Talking about. Yeah.
What about... It's interesting you bring up Merle Haggard because I might be way off base, but when I saw Tender Mercies, I'm like, oh, he's doing Merle.
Well, that's what somebody thought. That's what Willie Nelson asked me if I was aping Merle Haggard. I said, well, I love him. I don't know if I was aping him or not, but maybe, and then George Jones said it was his life story, which it wasn't. So I don't know. But speaking of faith-based, real quick, Billy Joe Shavers, he lost his son, his mother, and his wife, who he married 3 times. He lost them. They died all in 1 year.
It was incredible. It was like Job.
Yeah, I said, Billy Joe, how'd you get through this? He pointed to his chest and said, Jesus Christ. Now, you can't say that in New York City. Up north, you don't do that. But down there in the south, of those guys, they're pretty inundated in the philosophy and beliefs of Jesus Christ. So that's what he said to me at one point, Billy Joe.
Yeah, they're not afraid to say it. And you're right. If you say it like I live in Los Angeles, if you say such a thing, people will look at you like you're saying you have Down syndrome or something.
Yeah, well, who's the writer from Alabama? He wrote a book all over but the shouting. I forget his name. He wrote for the New York, one of the New York papers. I forget the guy's name right now. He brought that up out in the South. You do that, but once you get above the Mason-Dixon line, sometimes it's difficult to bring up Jesus or anybody like that because they look at you like you're a square or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they look at you like they reduced him to a silly character.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And I'm sure that must have been your motive in writing and directing and starring in The Apostle.
Yeah, it took me many years to get it off the ground. I did. I had to use my own money and everything. Had I done it in Hollywood, they would have never done it correctly. They would have paid me big time, patronized the subject, patronized certain regions in America. When I did it, I put up my own money. I got my money back plus change, and that was it. But I got great satisfaction in doing it.
Yeah.
Because I got from both ends. I heard that the great preacher, from Billy Graham liked it. And then I got a wonderful letter from Marlon Brando saying he liked it. So I got it from the secular and the religious.
That's great. That's fantastic.
You got it from both
because
sides.
you, what was the name of the character?
Sonny. Sonny Dewey. I wanted to use my mother's maiden name, but that was the name of some preacher, so I didn't want to get a lawsuit. So his Sonny Dewey. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that movie really struck me because I grew up in rural Canada in a very, very small town, and the preachers would come and we would go and listen to them.
Yeah, there's some of those preachers up there in Canada. I actually went to some, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're a little different from the guys. I'm on the devil's hit list.
Well, we never had the Southern Baptists, but we would have the famous people from the United States come, and you could tell, I could at a young age, who were the real guy. Now, I don't know. I can't look into a man's heart, but some of them seemed fake. Like, for instance, I saw Jim Baker. He seemed like a complete fake.
Well, he could be. Yeah, a lot of those guys. Yeah.
But I tell you, I saw Jimmy Swaggart, and I thought that's a real guy. And even when he did his apology on TV, that seemed authentic to me.
Yeah, but he does like he's minimized his crocodile tears since then. He's very talented.
You think those were crocodile tears?
Yeah. Billy, his cousin, who's his cousin?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, he said we work different sides of the street. That's what.
Really? So you think?
But the country singer, what's his name? The guy from Nova Scotia.
Hank Snow.
Hank Snow. Well, his son was a Pentecostal preacher. He was one of the first guys I saw doing my research. Jimmy Snow, has a church down there. But what happened was Lefty Frizzell's wife went to his church, so he knew Lefty was around her, and he was a drunk and this and that. He says, God told me to tell you to leave Lefty. And Lefty called him up and said, well, God told me to tell you I'm going to come over here and whip your ass.
What were you raised?
Anyway.
What were you raised, Robert?
Oh, I was just a Protestant family.
Okay.
Mainly. Yeah. My dad was different. Yeah.
Kevin, you're Catholic.
Irish Catholic. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was raised Protestant. That's a little more. Catholic's a little more ritual.
A lot of rituals.
Protestant's a little more. I don't know if it's a little more visceral, direct. Maybe.
Yeah. Don't get my wife started. She comes out of a Catholic family in Argentina where the Jesuits ruled. But we won't get into that.
Yeah. When did you get married?
Pardon?
How old were you when you married your latest wife?
Oh, I was old. When I met my father-in-law, I said, I don't know whether to call you a father or son, he said.
It's amazing.
And then I told Wilford Brimley, Wilford, he's a character, that guy. He was a Jack Mormon. He was a bodyguard for Howard Hughes. He sings jazz with a band. He's a very interesting guy, Wilford Brimley. When I came up, I said, Wilford, I got this young woman that's much younger than me. Everybody thinks she's too young, this and that. He said, let me tell you something, my friend. The worst thing in the world for an old man is an old woman.
Now you do have people. You have a much wider interest than most actors, right? Most actors, I think, hang out with other actors or whatever, or go to parties or whatever.
That's okay. I like a good Hollywood party when I'm out there. We live in Virginia, actually.
Yeah.
My wife's from Argentina, but she says Virginia for her is the last station before heaven.
Ah, that's nice.
She loves it here, and I love Texas, but we like living in Virginia at the moment.
Yeah.
And how do you keep up with a young lady like that?
Oh well, I don't know. She keeps me going. She looks after me well.
Here's what I was telling Kevin during the break. I was saying, you're 80 years old, right, sir?
Yeah, I'm 80 years old, right.
Now I see you when you're interviewed. You don't look 80 at all. You're powerful and you talk, but then you can do parts like I saw. I remember in Convicts. That's where I thought you looked the oldest.
Yeah,
you looked like a real 80-year-old guy.
Well, that was another Horton Foote script, and the director of Tender Mercies, who did not direct that, liked that movie so much he gave it as Christmas presents to his friends. That was a nice film that a lot of people didn't see.
Oh, that was
but
a beautiful movie.
I had a wonderful career of 4 or 5 movies with Horton Foote, and then I had also with Coppola. And had I never done anything but those two guys' works, it would have been a wonderful mini career for me. There were two wonderful, talented people that gave me great parts and everything. But it was great working with Horton. You know how many people you have a friend for 50 years, for God's sake.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
And then the movie of Get Low that I did, it was so. I love that movie. My wife loved it so much. I wanted Horton to see that before he died because it reminded me of his work. But then he died before it came out.
Oh.
And when I was doing the final speech for the audience, my wife was off camera and she got a telephone message that Horton had just died.
Oh.
When I was doing that speech about death.
Yeah.
Wow.
So ironic. It was like full circle from To Kill a Mockingbird. You know.
Yeah.
And that's also interesting that you were doing the speech in Get Low, and in Tomorrow, you in the last scene were in a coffin.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, also in the coffin well, you mean in the Convicts? I was in a coffin.
In Convicts, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So who did Convicts?
Who directed that? Pete Masters, and that was Horton's first cousin. Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah. That was an amazing movie, and that was a character that was, I guess he had dementia.
Yeah. I played him like one of my uncles moved to Texas from Virginia, and I sat on a grave. Whose grave am I sitting on here? and I made that up. Horton would sit under the cameras. He'd write. I say, Horton, could I try a little, change a little? I go ahead, Bobby. That's okay. Then he'd watch it. They say cut. He'd go back to writing something else. But he didn't mind if he changed a little something. Not so much the text, but he was great to work with, Horton. He was really an actor's friend and ally. Some of these directors you work with are an actor's enemy.
Yeah.
Well, Tender Mercies was the best movie ever, but I remember a line in Tomorrow that was so cool. I just remember it now. I'm going to screw it up, but it was when they come and take the boy from you.
Yes.
And you say, do you remember the line?
Once you refresh my memory, it's been a long time.
You say, I expected it. I reckon that's why it took me by surprise.
Yeah, I think that was scripted, though. Yeah, with Horton. Wonderful line. I wouldn't see that movie for a year. I was so ticked off at the producers and everybody. They cut a scene where I ride on my mule 30 miles to see that son when he's grown up. I say his name, he doesn't recognize me. I take off my hat to see if he'll recognize me. Then he doesn't. And I get in my mule and ride and go back home 30 miles.
Wow.
And I had a great moment. One of those moments I got so emotional I couldn't even speak. Yeah. And they cut the scene.
Oh, that is interesting because in that movie it is a little choppy at both ends.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I won't go into the reasons why that could be, but but overall it was a good experience, and it's always great. It was great working with Horton.
Do you have other scenes that have been cut that you wish were not?
Yeah, probably. I can't think of any right now. Let's hope Billy Bob doesn't cut any of mine from this.
Well, I'm glad to hear that Billy Bob is directing.
Was the most unique script I've probably ever read. The one, Jane Mansfield's Car is the name of it. Billy Bob script. Yeah. And the people, he sent the script to the same people that financially backed 7 Days in Utopia. He never heard from them because a lot of the preachers will not come see this movie. Of course, if they come, they might like it underneath. See, but, it is so secular but so accurate.
Yeah,
you can't. Like a guy called in, a faith-based station called in when we were doing publicity, and he brought up the fact that in the Old Testament there's a lot of R rating.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so it's the secular and as long as it's done accurately and beautifully, it can be a little shocking to some people. But as long as it's done well, as Billy Bob has done, I think in this movie, then it becomes a valid statement of filmmaking.
Right.
When you do a movie, since Gus McCrae was such an incredibly fully realized character and so great. Then when you do Broken Trail or Open Range or anything like that, do you have to try not to go into that, or is it you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean go into it?
Well, is it a tough thing to try to match that because they're similar characters?
Well, similar to a point. Yeah, they are. I actually feel that if you looked at Broken Trail in its entirety, I think it was better made than Lonesome Dove.
Really?
I mean, Lonesome Dove's my bad, but it's right up there, and and somebody said, you know, this and that. It's not a faith-based movie, but it's a wonderful movie in that these guys saved 5 Chinese girls from servitude and prostitution. You know, the original script, and it was really nice to make. But you know, like with Lonesome Dove, you get 7 hours to develop a character. And a lot of actors won't do TV because you do TV in your career and you try to get out of it to get into features. But then once you get a certain leverage, you'll go back to do something like Lonesome Dove or Stalin, in television. And television can be great. It's still action and cut. I mean, you're playing characters, so but you do have sometimes more time to develop a character.
And you know, westerns are my favorite movies. They always go like westerns are dead, and then a western.
No, they're not dead. People say that, but people always look for them, and they're always doing them. There's a flux of a bunch coming back for TV now and everything.
There was a great western a couple years ago about with a big long title. Remember that movie, Kevin? The Coward.
The Coward.
Jesse James and the Coward.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was interesting.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I thought it was well done.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing, and they had no music.
The guy did good playing Bob Ford, but Lucas Black would have been terrific too. Boy, he would have been great playing that part.
Yeah.
No, I like some of what Brad Pitt does. Did you ever see him do the movie Snatch?
Oh yeah.
He was fantastic. He was fantastic playing that gypsy. Because I know a little, but I directed a movie once called Angelo, My Love, where I only used one professional actor, and all the rest of the actors were American gypsies, and they were terrific natural actors. But, you know, Brad Pitt, I think, went up to Northern Ireland and picked up that lingo. It was terrific.
Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Duvall, for all your time. You're awesome.
Thank you, Mr.
Duvall. And say hello to Dennis Miller and tell him next time I expect to talk to him.
What the?
Dennis Miller Show.
Norm by far. Norm will cut your legs right off.
We had to bring in an extra medic just for, the damage that Norm could possibly do.
He used to make people cry.
Yeah.
He did Last Comic Standing. He was the only honest judge. He would tell comics they were hacks. It was awesome. The comics hated him. Joe List did it, and he goes, "Joe, you're a very good writer." And Anthony Jeselnik goes, "Hey, Joe, that Norm just called you ugly," which is such a great line.
Damn.
But, oh, my God.
My story with Norm it doesn't start out great because I did Last Comic Standing in 2000 and whatever. It never aired. And I did my joke, and I did well, and it was him, it was Damon Wayans, and Roseanne.
Yeah.
And Roseanne liked me. Damon Wayans, he was he was just like, yeah. He just smiled and laughed. I think he said right on. I don't know what he was just barely there. He wasn't, I don't remember anything either way. And then Norm was like, how many years have you been doing comedy? I'm like, 4. He's like, what? It takes 10 years to be a comedian. What are you doing here? I was like, ah. And I remember that was the biggest gut punch I got in stand-up. And I remember being at the Hilton by where they shoot all those shows. By where is that? Universal City?
Yeah.
That area?
Yeah.
I was in the Hilton and I was just like I couldn't even eat. I was like, this is horrible. And I spoke to one of the comics I was staying with at that point. And he was like, Last Comic Standing. He's like, you go in there and they pay legends to tell you not to do what you love, which is kind of what. But I got over it. I kept doing it. And then he became a fan of us later on and a lot of shit we were doing. And he was right. I was a 4-year, 5-year comic then. It's like, you do need more time to mature.
The other time I met him was on Last Comic Standing when he was a judge and I got eliminated in the first round. I had a pretty good set. Better than a lot of people who moved on, but it's NBC. Let's face it.
That's how it goes.
But I remember I had one joke that Norm singled out and goes, "That joke is gold," and that to me was to me. I didn't even feel that bad. I got locked off because I was like, Norm Macdonald, who was the judge that I connected to his work the most. It was Roseanne and Keenan. I connect to Roseanne's politics, of course, but no. But it was Roseanne and Keenan Ivory Wayans, and obviously I love In Living Color. But Norm, I'm a comic. Norm was the guy I connected with, and the joke he loved was I said, you know, my last girlfriend was a hoarder and she broke up with me, which stings extra hard. I'm like the one thing she can get rid of. And he said he loved that joke. And then Keenan kind of digged me in the last comic thing. He said, I like some of your jokes, but not all of them. And I said, well, I loved all your scary movie films. And it got a huge laugh. And he's I only did the first two. And I was like, all right. I remember I saw Norm in like the food. Yeah. He couldn't let it pass. Yeah. He couldn't take the L. And that one, I knew I was out after that.
Right.
And then I'm walking through the thing. It was like a break. I guess they were taking a break, the paid audience. And I see Norm and he goes, I really like that you dug it.
Oh.
So that was a special moment.
He's the real deal. He really is.
Yeah, I think he could tell. And I said I met you once at Caroline's, and I told him I really like.
Yeah.
We're all going to be following Anthony Jeselnik on Twitter as he live tweets Last Comic Standing, and then of course Norm being at the end chair. That's just manna from heaven. Like, thank you, God.
Sure, but
to watch Norm Macdonald.
That was like why I took the gig was to work with Norm. I was like, oh, that's amazing. When am I going to chance like this again? Let me do this. And the way he was in the taping is so much better than the way they edit that it kills me.
Why? Because I think he's really good on the show.
He's
really
good on the show.
Constructive advice.
He's good, but it was fascinating to see him like unfiltered, especially when they took out all the bad comics. Some of the funniest stuff on that show is when a bad comic comes up and the judges trash them. I'm trashing them. Like, that was really fun, and that's all gone. They didn't want to embarrass anyone. So it's like the one reality show where they don't want the drama. And Norm was like borderline a monster to people. Like, he would say things that would kill me, that I would be like on the floor dying laughing. Like, I would have to take time. One of my favorites was he told this one girl, he said, he just like, and she did fine. Like, the other two judges really liked her. And this is what would happen was like the other two judges would like the person, the crowd liked the person, and then Norm would just be like, I think you suck. And it would be like, everyone's like, I can't believe you're saying this, and I can't believe you're so against the other two judges. But so this girl, he says, she's done fine, the other judges like her. Norm says, I thought that was horrible. I think you're one of the worst people I've seen in this whole competition. And I'm like dying laughing. And then he goes, I think that you are incapable of writing a joke. And she goes, oh, well, I'll work on that. She's trying to be nice. She's like, okay, thank you. I'll work on that. And he goes, no, don't work on it. I said you are incapable. And that was the most like crushing thing he could have said to someone.
I actually got into an argument on the subway, and the guy quoted the Bible at me. That is not fair. Like, if you get to quote from your favorite book, I should be able to quote from my favorite book, right? He was like, men do not live on bread alone, Matthew 4:4. And I was like, everybody's a little bit magic, Harry Potter, chapter 7. It's not a fair fight, right?
You say there's no way we could go back, and that I've broken what we had. I wish that you would come around.
I disagree. I don't think the Bible joke is brave at all. I think if you're going to take on an entire religion, you should maybe know what you're talking about. J.K. Rowling is a Christian, and J.K. Rowling famously said that if you were familiar with the scriptures, you could easily guess the ending of her book.
Huh? Okay.
I don't like it. Tell me your best story.
My best story was the Steve Irwin. You just fucking told it.
No, that happened to you. He's a comedian. You knew the Tempe Improv?
Okay.
What was your joke?
You had one joke?
It was so ridiculous. It was stupid.
What was it?
Oh God, man! It was something like don't take a shot from a girl at a bar because it looks ridiculous. It's never good. I think the punchline was is this a Care Bear cum shot or something? It was really ridiculous.
Don't take a shot at a girl at a bar. I think it has to do with the Care Bears. It's like, what?
That was the worst.
I don't remember it. It was so long ago, but that was the gist of it, and that's why I don't do stand-up anymore.
You should open with it.
Yeah. I should open and close with it.
He can't even tell his own joke.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not a good,
anything.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, it's like...
as we get closer. Things that we never really needed, promises that we never thought of keeping safe. I guess it's never over if we never got a chance.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay.
Charles Fleischer used to always close the Improv. He'd always close.
Yeah.
And he'd do an hour.
I'm not sure. I think that guy's out of his goddamn mind.
Whoa. A confidence man sold him an apartment, rented him an apartment.
A confidence
Only last minute.
man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
didn't go
paper
well.
moon, you know, like that kind of a guy.
Yeah, I got paper mooned.
You got paper moon.
I think it was by
about-
one of the guys that used to give you shit in your karate class. This big fucking Russian guy.
Oh, easy.
All right, it was a Russian guy.
Not at all.
We've torn down the wall, Mr. Gorbachev, a long time ago.
My family comes from Russia. They're Russian Jews.
Oh. Russian at Jews is more like it.
I'm a fan of The View because Sherry Shepherd is a good friend of mine.
Sure.
And I've been on The View a lot, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because I'm on The View. Daphne Aguilera was on The View.
Oh, really?
Did Daphne Aguilera, he didn't rub your cock on like...
Okay, come on. This is what we're trying to get away from.
Sorry.
She came over and she said, "It's so lonely here, you know. There's been no men." And she caressed his arm. And one thing became the inevitable.
They had sex?
Yeah, so we don't have to be coarse about it, but yes.
So he fucked a leper?
Let's not be coarse. Good God, man, that's not how you tell a joke. That's supposed to happen through your mind. That's supposed to. But yes, you did fuck a leper. You're telling me that you've taken 5 hours of entertainment and somehow condensed it into a couple of minutes.
Yeah. It was fantastic all the way through, but I just thought.
Well, that's yeoman's work.
Well, look, I went in and I took what I thought were the best
Follow-up
moments of the...
question: what's a yeoman?
Not a clue.
Russell Brand will know.
I'll bet you're goddamn right he will.
Okay, no need to curse.
All right, apologies.
But please.
If they put my name in a fucking publication like Entertainment Weekly,
You don't
I
have
don't
to
think
swear.
I think.
You know, I may have told you this, but my doctor's getting very rude. The last time I went to him, he said, "Open your mouth and say oink." I mean,
I think we've come to the fact you need to find a new doctor.
I need to find a new.
This guy sounds like a real asshole.
New internist. Why do you continue to swear?
I don't know.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should. You know, taking the Lord's name in vain is one of the commandments that will get you raped by the devil for all of time.
Agree to disagree. Here's the deal.
You agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree.
You know what I don't like is when they make those dirty drinks.
Dirty
nowadays.
Sanchez?
Dirty Sanchez. That's what you drink.
What dirty drinks?
No, they say like
pink pussy,
huh?
like the pink pussy.
You don't have to be dirty, but the guy doesn't realize there's a TV camera aimed
You
at
guys,
him.
this is like your little brother.
God damn, man.
You have such control.